Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
It was a random ass drive-by shooting. Okay? He ran back to go help somebody out. Okay? Lift him up off the ground and got hit. Let's explain that. Because my son graduated from kindergarten, junior high, high school, went to college, played football star, All-American, okay? That's what he did. And he worked at Lowe's, okay, when this went down. That's who he was employed from. So about you, talking about pick that dead body up, and there's the ass crack, you're in violation, okay? I've already talked to one of y'all, okay? I don't care about your street name, your gang name, no, none of that shit, okay? I ain't no police calling motherfucker, period, okay? I ain't never stepped in this shit, ain't never did nothing with this shit. But you, nigga, I'm letting you know, you a little nigga, okay? I will beat your motherfucking ass heads up with these, nigga, okay? With these. I will beat your little ass about fucking with my son and on his name, okay? I will get your shit bag when you got shot, wrap that shit around your ass and break you down on your knees, and I'm sure about it. If you want to try me, come find me, okay? I heard you out and been in hiding. Nigga, if you want to play with Dada Mom, come and see me, okay? I stay on my weight bag, okay? I stay on my weight bag. I don't know what you doing, but like I said, I will choke you out about disrespecting me at a time like this. You go for one of them other motherfuckers that's dead, but about mine, you better lift up out of them, okay? You better lift off of them, okay? Like I said, it was an accident, okay? Nigga, you didn't get lucky, okay? Talking about you got one of yours from the crest. I don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit, okay? But about my baby, hands up, you better stay up off of them, okay?
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus, yeah. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT time. PGT time. Tune in on PGT time. PGT time. Come join us on PGT time. PGT time. Join us on PGT time. PGT time. Yeah.
In order for y'all to do what God is calling y'all to do, to take y'all platform to where it's a plateau and it can go to levels that you never seen, don't best believe it's gonna come with devils.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
Me. I'm gonna clean it up. That's who's gonna clean it up, baby. It's your girl, the missus, baby. It's your girl, the missus with the kisses. Mwah. Or you can call me Miss Peachy. That's what everybody call me now. They all call me Miss Peachy. So y'all can definitely call me that. I gotta say it. What's up, California, baby? What's up? Welcome to the ATL. Welcome to the ATL. And thanks for having me in Cali. You know, I'm over here in the ATL, but I'm in California. Y'all in California, y'all over here in the ATL. It's just like that. It's just like that. So thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate y'all. We are here to celebrate Dada, baby. We are here to celebrate him. Okay. Now, I'm telling y'all now. I don't know. We may have to have part 2 or not. I don't know. It all depends how far song you want to go tonight, baby. It is explicit language. Y'all saw that clip, and y'all know it's explicit language on Peachy Tea Time. So, baby, we going in tonight. And a lot of y'all already know what this story is about. Y'all have came back just for this story and to see me too. Hey, y'all, hey. But excuse me. But this was sad. This was sad. It made me mad. I was very angry. I cried. Yeah, I cried. I tell y'all all the time, sometimes I cry. Sometimes I don't cry. This one made me cry. Ahead of time. Ahead of time. Why did it make me cry ahead of time? Because SONYA sent me the footage. Now, some of the footage that she sent me, I can't show y'all. That was the footage that I cried. But y'all gonna see stuff. Not that one, but y'all gonna see close to it. Okay? Because we do have raw footage tonight. Okay? So again, thank y'all for joining Peachy Tea Time. Y'all know it's a movement over here. We have families from everywhere that come on Peachy Tea Time to tell their loved one story on how they was murdered through gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, the police, suicide cases, and also missing person cases. And we have had someone on for all those categories. And they just come on, they tell what they want to tell. That's what they do. Tell what they want to tell. Get it off their chest. Also, keep their loved one name alive. And most importantly, spread the awareness. Because every mother that has came on Peachy Tea Time wants to make sure another mother don't have to go through what they're going through at this time. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off, get it started. We are live on Roku TV, baby. Yes, Roku TV. So if you want to download Peachy Tea Time, y'all see it right behind me on the screen. Peachy Tea Time, time spelled with a Y. Go ahead, download it. Make sure you save it. So you go right on back to it. Just go to your little search engine on your Roku TV. And baby, you can lay down in your bed and watch Peachy Tea Time. Okay? So before we get started, I got to bring up my counselor. Well, she Peachy Tea Time counselor. Okay. Peachy Tea Time counselor. But if I need a counselor, I'm going straight to Charlotte. Okay. Jason is not here with us tonight. But baby, we're gonna keep the show going, okay? So here goes Charlotte.
Hi everybody. Hey. What's going on?
Hey, what is goody in your city, baby? It's good over here on my block.
All right. We
So
just
thank
holding
you
it
for
down.
showing up. What'd you say?
I said we just good in the ATL. It's okay.
Yes, we are. We got some good weather today. So shout out to the good weather. Shout out to the good weather, baby. Um, but we know it's gonna be getting cold pretty soon. So hopefully we can ride it out through the end of October, beginning of November, before that cold start coming in, okay? Because I'm enjoying still going out without a jacket on. Okay. So
That's next week. So we might as well get ready then.
I'm ready, Lord. I ain't ready. I need to go to California. Y'all gonna send for me. Y'all gonna send for I'm coming to Cali, okay? That's where I'm coming. But all right, y'all. Charlotte, again, thank you so much for coming on each and every Wednesday, helping me and Jason with the families and everything. So I definitely appreciate that. But we are about to travel to California.
Let's
Put
go.
your seatbelt on, Charlotte, because we gotta make some moves. We gotta make some moves. So let's go ahead and bring up the family for this Wednesday, baby. We have SONYA Mitchell, the mother of Daimon Ferguson. Everybody call him Dada. Okay. So rest in peace to Dada. And again, I want to thank this family for trusting me um, with their loved one story. So I really appreciate it. So here we go. Let's bring up Angela. We're gonna bring up Angela first. Hey, Angela.
Hello. God bless you, Miss Peachy. God bless you, Doctor. Thank you for
Oh,
again bringing my sister on and her story, sharing it with the world because it needs to be known. Dada was a wonderful nephew. He was the best, very gentle and
oh,
kind. He loved the kids, and this was just so sad for everybody. So, thank you again for letting us have this moment because it
you
was
are
really
so welcome.
needed.
Definitely, you are so welcome. Each family that comes on Peachy Tea Time, Angela, I let them know that basically what I do is turn my platform into your platform. So you all will be able to speak freely and whatever's on your heart to say, you'll be able to say tonight. Okay. So
Thank you.
thank you for trusting me with your nephew's story. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you as well. We just want justice for Dada.
Justice for Dada. That's what we want, y'all. Okay? Because they on my team and I'm on their team tonight, baby, and after tonight. So let's go ahead. We are about to bring up Lee next. Here comes Lee. Hey, Lee. What
What's
to
up?
do?
What's good?
What's up? Thank you for joining us tonight, Lee. I really appreciate it.
All good.
Lee, tell me, what is your relation to Dada?
His older sister was my neighbor across the street
Mm, okay. Okay, so you've been knowing Dada for a very long time?
for a little like over a year.
Over a year. Okay. Okay. Well, I thank you for joining us. And I'm sure you have a lot to speak on tonight just as well. So just go ahead, sit back, relax. I see you in the car, so we definitely want you to make sure you be safe at the same
Definitely.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely be safe. So because I don't know what I do, Lee, if something happen.
Nah, I'm in
I'm
good
like,
hands.
Angela, call 911. Angela, call 911. So please be extra safe and careful. All right, now we are about to bring up Sonia. Sonia is the mother of Dada. I met Sonia on TikTok. I'm telling y'all, TikTok, y'all better get on TikTok. Now, I ain't even on TikTok like that. I feel like when I meet people off of TikTok, it ain't number God bringing them to me because I don't even be on it like that. So I did reach out to her. I saw the first video that I showed you guys. I saw the full video on TikTok. And that's what made me reach out to her to see if she would like to come on to Peachy Tea Time. She agreed, and baby, here she is tonight. And baby, yeah, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful, just like her sister Angela. Just beautiful ladies. Here she goes.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Sonia. And then we also have Tia. Hey, Tia, girl. How
Hi.
y'all doing? Look, Tia,
Good.
we live now, girl. We live now, Tia.
Okay. We on there now.
Yes, we are
Yep.
on there
And then
now.
this is my oldest sister, Sharonda. Hi.
Hi,
And then
Sharonda.
her daughter, Aaliyah. Hi.
Hi, Aaliyah. Girl, all y'all cute. Everybody just cute and pretty.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. Sonya, me and you have talked several times,
Yes.
after I reached out to you. You definitely know how much I appreciate you for coming on the Peach Tea Time and
You're welcome.
trusting me with Dada's story. So I definitely thank you, thank you, thank you. Is this your
Welcome.
first time on a podcast talking about your story?
No, it's not. On a
Mm-hmm.
podcast like this live? No, because we talked about it with the Vallejo Police Department. Oh, yeah, you guys did. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they were.
Now, okay. Now, Sonia, your story is quite different
It is.
from every family that has came on to Peach Tea Time. A lot of families, they are always slightly different. But when I tell you your story is really different, like your story makes everybody angry and upset. You see what I'm saying? So, first of all, before we even get started, let us know about Dada. Please let us know about Dada.
Um, about his character. Should we start with that?
Yes. Yes,
Um,
definitely his character.
Dada was the baby of the bunch. I have four children, two sons, two daughters. Dada was raised in Vallejo. He started Vallejo, California, from kindergarten to 12th grade. He graduated from all three schools, um, Glen Cove Elementary, Springstown Junior High School, and he graduated from Jesse Bethel. He was a football player there, All American star. My son never had any juvenile history at all. He never had any convictions of any jail time at all. When his passing, when he did pass, he was 23 years old. He was employed at Lowe's at the time. He had good friends, bad friends, in between friends.
Mhm.
Usually they say Vallejo is a place where African Americans really don't excel, but he did. He kept it together. He had little small issues, but he made it through living in Vallejo. Like I said, we moved there to kindergarten without having one fight his entire life. So it was
Wow.
very disturbing when he was visiting his sister's house. And there was a drive-by shooting in the year of 2020 where there were a lot of random shootings, including mothers that passed away. Like maybe 4 mothers were killed that year as well,
Mm,
along with
mm, mm.
babies being shot, children being shot down. Over 20 deaths of young African American men were killed just during this one year. The homicides that were proven to be guilty of, it was very rare from the Vallejo Police Department. Not many were followed up. A lot of mothers were just in a grieving process. And it was really hard for us to deal with these deaths that was happening amongst Vallejo at the time. It was just really bad. And in the midst of it, my son ran out to grab a friend of his, and he was shot at that time, and his friend lived. Um, he didn't make it, and I thought to myself, I said, God, I was so upset about it because I said, Dada ran out there. Why he just didn't keep running? Why did he have to turn around and go back and help anybody? Was he thinking? What was he thinking about? But what happens is people fail to realize that you're built around what you live around. And he was built
Mhm.
actually by me. And I'm a very strong individual, especially as a woman. And I think about what would I have done if I was with any of my girlfriends, male friends, would I have ran back and helped them? And I know I would have. So in the end, I kind of feel some relief that I know my son did the right thing. Unfortunately, that person that he did save his life, it just hunted me again because he died this year, and it's just devastating that these young men, they're starting to feel like, they're so up against it. It's like, I'm gonna take your life or I'm gonna get life. It's two things. They up against the wall. And it starts with us.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, we do have clips that we're gonna play just as well tonight, and we're going to break that down even more. As far as what happened that night and everything. But let's go back to Dada. He didn't have any issues with people in the neighborhood. Like everybody loved Dada.
Yeah, he had none. He had no issues with anybody. Like I said again, I'll repeat myself again. My son grew up in Vallejo,
Hmm.
without having one fight, not one fist fight. He never had a fist fight ever.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
Never had a
And
fist
then
fight. He was the comedian. He kept you laughing. He danced very well. You know, uh, I think I sent you a video of him doing backflips, teaching the kids how to do
hmm
backflips because he would do that when he would, run his ball in and get a touchdown. So he was a person that was very well liked, very well loved. Um, I have another son, and my other son is the opposite of what Dada is. He's no joke.
mm,
So,
okay.
yeah,
All right. And how old was Dada?
he was 23 when he passed away.
23 when he passed away.
Yes.
Did Dada have any children?
He didn't get a chance to have any children, and that was another problem that I had. Maybe somebody will knock on the door one day. It happens, but
Well, you ain't
no,
never lied. It do happen. You
it
are right.
happens. It's something that I pray on.
Hmm.
It would be nice. But who knows?
Okay. Sonya, I'm gonna need you to scoot in a little bit more closer to her, to Tia. Okay. And then your daughter and back up, you scoot over
Well,
some.
me and her will switch when we want to talk about what we want to talk about.
Okay, that's fine.
Hmm.
All right. So, okay, Sonya, we're gonna go ahead and play this first clip, okay? And when we play this first clip, we're gonna talk about the day that everything occurred. Okay. Was Dada staying with you? Was he
Actually,
living with you?
he was staying with his sister.
Okay, he was living with his sister. Okay, is his sister here with us tonight?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay.
Right here.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started with this first clip, y'all. Here we go.
Explanation of what happened, Dan.
Well, Ken and Pam, this mother tells us that her son was her world. She waited for more than a half hour for an ambulance to arrive and then had to rush him to the hospital herself. And she said that she has no idea why these medics acted this way, why she was met with such disrespect as her son was dying.
Ain't nobody helping get my son. Y'all on video.
In a video difficult to watch, a Vallejo mother pleads for help as her son is dying from a gunshot wound outside of a hospital.
He may be losing his life.
23-year-old Daimon Dada Ferguson was hit by gunfire on Vanessa Street and Adele Drive. He was one of 2 shooting victims in the city in an 8-hour span.
I will never ever see him again. I would at least kissed him. Goodbye.
Distraught by what happened, Sonia Mitchell says she rushed her son to Sutter Solano Medical Center because 911 calls went unanswered and an ambulance never showed up. She grew even more upset after begging medics for help.
You would have called 911. We called 911. They didn't come. The you talking about?
She began videotaping them because what she witnessed was a careless and callous response as her son was dying.
To be treated like that. No mother deserves that.
Mitchell remembers her son Dada as an athletic, loving, and caring person. The family gathering at Mitchell's home in Vallejo on Thursday to pay their respects.
My son is dead.
Vallejo City Council member Hakeem Brown was outraged after seeing the video on Facebook and immediately called the EMS company Medic Ambulance for answers.
It's heartbreaking, but at the same time infuriating to see a mother who's basically living a nightmare, also being treated so callously. We don't want to see that in our community. That hurts.
Councilmember Brown tells us one medic was placed on unpaid leave as an investigation is underway. For Mitchell, the pain is still raw. She says she wishes she would have embraced Dada one last time before he passed away.
If I knew he was going to be treated like that, I would have just held him right there where he was on the car and let him die in my arms.
Cron 4 News also reached out to Medic Ambulance for further comment on this incident, and so far they have not responded to our request. And the family tells us tonight that they are right now considering possible legal action against this company.
All right, y'all. Where do we begin? Shit. Explicit language again, y'all. Explicit language. Let's start with the beginning. Let's start with that night. First of all, I gotta say this because it's on my spirit to say this. Sonya, when you on that clip and when you said I should have just held him in my arms and let him die in my hands, baby, that hit different. That hit real different when you said that. And I think every last one of us that just saw this clip would agree 100% with what you're saying. But I know everything. I know everything that you told me, and the world don't know everything that you told me. So let's start from the beginning. When that morning when y'all woke up, like what was going on? What did y'all have a party, a gathering? Like what was going on?
Well, he was at his sister's house. I did see him. I actually, to be honest, that day I worked 2 separate jobs. I worked from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I did see my son at 2 o'clock, at 1:30 before I went to my next job at 2 to midnight. So
Okay.
basically, I was doing a lot of hours working at the time.
But you actually did get the chance to see him that day.
I seen him. I seen him that day, and I just I didn't feel like anything was going on with him. And I'm really good at feeling spirits. And we were at the bank, and I was giving him some money, and you know, I said bye. I didn't say I love you, but I did say bye, and I seen him, and well,
So it was
I
brief.
can speak on that morning a little bit. The last
Okay.
morning. He had an Infinity. He really liked his Infinity. It was, the car that he really liked getting around in. He was learning how to do donuts and stuff, most guys his age. So he had messed his tire up, his back tire up. So that morning he had a mechanic come out to look at his tire. He was getting his car fixed that day. So he left for most of that day. I didn't see him for a good part of that day. It was just like any other day, but for some reason I went out with him and talked to him, and I was just so happy I had those last moments with him. I never knew it would be my last moment, talking to him.
Mhm.
And so the day went on. He came in the house. He was playing the video game. He played the game upstairs with my son on the phone. Got a call from a friend to come outside in front. He went outside in front of the house. They were out front for about an hour. In the midst of it, they might have left and came to and from the store. And around 12:04, I'm in the house with my 3 kids, and I just hear a ring of gunfire going off, like 70 to 80 shots, and I panic. Like, I had lived up there on that street for about like 12 to 13 years, and I never experienced gunfire on my block. So I was really nervous. I'm nervous right now. I've been, bringing it back up. I don't like to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It
But
actually happened before 12 o'clock. Yeah. Because I got off of work at 12 o'clock, and my daughter Tia called me and she said, Mom, I'm not sure, but I think Dada may have gotten shot. And I'm like, what do you mean Dada got shot? She says, what's going on? Nothing, just. She said, I'm not sure, but I think he might got shot. So I said to the lady that I was working with, I said, you know what, it's a lot of shooting going on, but I better go up to my daughter's house and just check it out. I said, I'm not sure. Can you guys stop whispering, please, right now? Thank you. And so I drove over there to my daughter Sharonda's house, and I called the lady I was working with back. I didn't hear one siren, and I was driving fast over there. It was about 10 minutes from where she worked. Not a siren, not a fire truck, like nothing. So I was just like, I'm good. I'm cool. And so I hit her block, and it looked like we was shooting a movie for some reason. The whole corner was lit up. And I looked across the street. It was a Mercedes that looked like it ran through a neighbor's house. And I seen a few guys out in front of my daughter's house. And I said, where is my son at? And I was really surprised because I was thinking that he would have been gone in the ambulance by the time I got there after I got that call, which was probably about a good 8 minutes. And I seen a guy that would live next door to my daughter. He had my son cradled in his arms. And I said, give me my child. And he reached back like he wasn't going to give me my son. And basically what I said is, I don't trust none of you guys up here right now. Give me my child and put him in the car. And at that time, he was walking and put my son in the car. I heard a voice say, you'll never, ever make it. And at that time, mother instincts kicked in. I heard it clear. And I turned around, it was about 3 or 4 guys. This is where Lee comes into tune. And I was just scared. I didn't want to lose any more time. I said, which one of you guys can get me to the hospital in 3 minutes? Lee, that's on this podcast, raised his hand. He said, I'll get you there in 2 minutes. I said, let's go. We was in a 2-seater. It bothers me to tell this story. We got in there. Lee,
let's talk to Lee. Let's talk to Lee for a second,
can I
okay?
just tell this story real quick?
Okay, go ahead.
Because I need to tell this story. What happened? Lee
Go
not gonna
ahead.
tell it. Lee got in that car and he drove that car so fast that fire was coming off the back. I was sitting in the back seat. He was driving it. We hit down to another street where we had to turn at a gas station. And I said, you know what? At that time, I said, I'm getting ready to put my jeopardy of this young man that's driving this car. He's going to lose his life. And this mother that belongs to this son, because I need to get my son to the hospital, he is going to die trying to get us there. And that's something big to me. He risked his whole life. He was going that fast. I said, slow this car down. Because I didn't know Lee. Let me make that clear. I didn't know this gentleman I'm in the car with that's on this podcast at all. I said, baby, you need to slow this car down. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Because we getting ready to flip over into the gas station. So he was trying to slow it down, but we were going sideways. We never hit anybody's car. And then it kind of started slowing down and it went up the hill. And then that's when we went into the hospital. So now Lee can take over from there.
Okay. All right, Lee, we're gonna go ahead and pull you up.
Yeah.
Now, Lee, what happened from that point?
So we get to the hospital. I pull in with an ambulance.
Or maybe Lee should start from what he's seen. Look, I got the video from the point that Lee came out.
Where it came out from where?
His house.
Okay.
No.
Lee, what happened when
because Lee was there before you was there. So Lee got a different perspective. Everybody has their own perspective of what they seen. So let's hear what Lee seen.
So I was in the house sleep. Mind you, I was working 16-hour shifts. So I'm asleep. And my son wake me up. He like, Daddy, what's that? It sound like hella gunshots going off. So I'm like, I tell him lay down. I grab my gun. I go outside to see what's going on. And it's like a war zone outside, hella bullet cases and this and that. So I asked somebody, I'm like, y'all good? Y'all good? They like, yeah. So somebody came into my house and I drove him to his house. So I'm like, I'm asking where the other two people are. He was like, they straight. So I go to my neighbor house where that car crashed at, and he was telling me that, somebody crashed into his trucks and they jumped his gate and they was running along. So then I hear my neighbor, Sharonda, come outside. She was calling her brother name, and she heard him say her name. It was like a low voice. And so she's screaming. She was like, my brother, my brother. So she didn't want to go to the side of the house and look. So me and Rick go over there, and Rick see him. So Rick like, look, I'm coming to help you. Please don't shoot me. We coming to help you. So Rick picked him up. So as I'm pulling my car to the front to put him in the backseat of my car to take him to the hospital, SONYA pull up and she like put my son in the car. So we looking, she like, nigga, put my son in the car. So we put him in the car, close the door. So she look at me and she look at Rick. She said, which one of you niggas know how to drive the best? I said, me. She said, so let's go. So we jump in the car, mind you.
Hold on, Lee. Hold on. Was the ambulance called?
Yeah, they called. They never came.
911 didn't come. There was a shooting the same night. So somebody else had got shot in our city that same night. So they was on a crime scene.
They were across town, like another shooting.
Maybe an hour before or so.
No, it was right before.
So when I initially called the police, they never answered the phone. And let's just remember, when I first called 911, they didn't come at all. I called 911. What are you doing? An emergency? You call 911. They was not there for me. I was panicking. I didn't know what was going on. They took more than 5 minutes to call me back. By the time they called me back, they was driving off with my brother to the hospital, which Lee is telling you about right now. And remember, Vallejo was bankrupt at the time and had limited police officers, even on duty.
So it was only one company that really was in service for the county, for the whole county?
Right, for the city of Vallejo. Mind you that same year they had, I think Dada was almost number 20 homicide, and they were responding to another murder at the same time, way on the other side of town. So 911 calls went unanswered. They did not answer. And people, they didn't answer.
Okay. All right, Lee, we're gonna go ahead and bring you back up.
Yeah, so We called 911. They never came, and it was crazy. I left the hospital, went back home. It took the police and people to get there 3 hours. It took them 3 hours to come to the crime scene.
And then after that happened, they didn't even let me back up to my home where I live with my kids. They said it was a crime scene after we found out my brother died. And my kids were all minors at the time. Inside the house, I had bullet holes through my home, glass shattered through my couches up and down. It was like they was just shooting like crazy. You know, one of my kids could have got hit, you know, and just the fact that they didn't answer the phone in that moment, you know, and the fact that they weren't, like, when my mom and when they drove off to the scene, by then some time had went, the police were still not on the scene. It took several time, like you said, it took a long time before they came to the scene to even.
And this was also during
let me
COVID too,
explain
right?
this. Peachy, it took so long for them to come that the people that crashed that car, because of the gunshots that were going back and forth, they actually walked up out of there. They jumped into everybody's backyards there and they just walked up out of there clear after the shooting. On foot.
Wow. And
After drive-by
this was
shooting.
during COVID. This was during
Yes.
COVID too, correct?
And so,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why the hospital.
That's why the hospital
the
doors were locked.
Let's talk about and they didn't open the doors. That's a whole other thing. The doors were locked. They would not let us in. Well, I wasn't there for that part, but they didn't let them into the hospital. When anything is wrong, you're going to the hospital. And I don't know if it was because of the COVID. I'm not sure what it was, but he was not let into that hospital that night.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So the people whose car did that crash, they were the ones that were doing the shooting, so they got
Yes,
away.
ma'am.
And I have a video on
Yes,
my phone
ma'am.
I can show you guys how the car crashed and everything.
Yeah, just put your phone up to the screen so they can see it.
Was it registered to them or was it a?
I don't think so.
It was 4 people.
I think it was a stolen car, actually.
Okay. While they're looking for that clip, y'all, we finna go into this next news broadcasting clip, and then we're gonna watch the video if they have it ready, and then we're gonna go back into Lee talking.
Deborah V. alone live now with how one of the most recent killings is shaking longtime locals. Deb.
Heather, a lot of people upset about one mom's experience. She drove her dying son to the hospital, but found no one in a hurry to help.
The ambulance never came. I've been here trying to get somebody to get my son out the car.
A frantic Vallejo mom found her 21-year-old son wounded on the street and drove him to the hospital herself.
My son is a gunshot victim. I'm still waiting for my son to get out the car. I'm waiting for my son.
Her nightmare worsened when no one rushed to help.
He may be losing his life. I want you to see this.
Known as Dada to his family, he was Vallejo's 21st homicide this year. Shot last night in what police describe as a barrage of bullets possibly fired between cars. And just a few hours before, several miles away, officers heard shots and discovered another young man dead. At this rate, 2020 could break Vallejo's record of 30 murders set in 1994.
Some of it might be gangs or kids, groups of kids fighting back and forth, but it doesn't seem to be the full picture because there's people that aren't involved being shot.
Sean West monitors and posts about Vallejo's violence because he worries people don't know what's happening all around them. His page has almost 30,000 followers.
You don't want to go out after dark. You don't want to go to certain areas. You really don't even want to go out at all if you're hearing that people are being shot at randomly. It's just not a safe thing.
But we also know that we can't police our way out of this issue.
Councilman Hakeem Brown says generational poverty is the root of it. Too many adults without stable jobs, housing, or hope, and too many children who don't see a different way for themselves.
Instead of it being a curse to grow up in Vallejo, it needs to be something positive.
Instead of guns, Brown recalls growing up in Vallejo, kids picked up a sport.
Well, a kid from North Vallejo doesn't have a good chance to know a kid from South Vallejo. They probably didn't grow up playing sports together. They haven't attended any youth events because we don't have any.
How long it took y'all? How long it took y'all to get my son?
Both Brown and West found this video outrageous, the response lacking urgency. One medic, in passing, paused to criticize the mom.
You would have called 911. We called 911. They didn't come. What are you talking about?
telling the mom she could have called 911 got that paramedic suspended without pay after the councilman complained to the ambulance company. Heather, Vallejo has a population over 100,000, but only 6 patrol officers on the street at any given time.
Got reveal on live for us tonight.
All right, we are back. We got Jason in the building. Hey, Jason. Jason is our Wednesday night co-host. Jason, thank you for coming. You on mute, Jason. You gotta unmute yourself. Yeah, he's trying to figure out. Jason, he ain't on his regular system, y'all, that he usually on. So we just want to make sure everybody know that's Jason down there in the building. All right. Now, do y'all have the video ready?
Yeah, we have a video and a picture. But let me cut the volume. This is after when my mom first arrived on scene. Wait, let me position it. Can y'all see it?
Clean the screen.
Oh, clean her screen.
I ain't gonna even do you like that to you. I ain't gonna even do you like that. Go ahead and clean that screen.
This her phone. But I still don't think you can really see it that clear.
No. Is it long?
No, it's not. Go to the picture.
Okay. Send it to Tia.
Yeah.
I'm finna send you my name, Tia, and send it to my messenger, okay?
Yeah,
and then if you send it to my messenger, I'll be able to actually download it to my system.
And it'll be better showing that way.
Exactly. So I'm finna send you my name and go on Facebook and send it to Messenger. Okay. All right. There you go. I just sent you my
Actually, a
name.
video that has never been seen before.
Oh shit. We got a damn exclusive, y'all. We got an exclusive. So where's Lee at? Oh, Lee fell down, y'all. Lee fell down. Tell if y'all could get in contact with Lee, tell Lee to come on back up. Well, he'll probably come back up. He'll come back up. Oh, there you go. There go Lee. Okay, Lee.
Yes.
Right, Lee. It's your turn, Lee. We're gonna go ahead and let you go. They gonna send me the video. So you can go ahead and proceed when y'all was driving, because you was speeding.
Yeah, I was speeding. So we get to this
SONYA
corner.
didn't want you to hurt nobody.
Yeah, so we get to this corner. She like, slow down, we gonna crash. And I'm like, I got this. So then I hit the turn. We slid a little bit. I got us to the hospital probably like 3 minutes. So once we get there, I run to the ambulance door and knock on the door. I'm like, we got somebody in the car shot, and they gonna say, go to the front. So I drive the car to the front. Sonya tell me, next time you jump out, nigga, let me out with you. So I'm like, all right. So we pull up to the front. We both jump out the car. So we try to go inside the hospital. They got the door locked. So we banging on the door like, we got somebody shot. We got somebody shot. By the time we turn around, Dada trying to get out the car. He gets out the car and he falls down. So Sonya banging on the door like, open the door, open the door. So it took them maybe like 10 minutes to come outside with a wheelchair to grab him. Then you hear the lady say, y'all should have called 911. And I'm like, we did call 911 and they never came. So then they wheeled him in the hospital, and then after that, we waited and waited and waited, and then they said that he passed away.
Okay, Lee, let's go back to when you went, because I want to make sure everybody is clear and understands this story, okay? So when you guys went to when you finally made it to the hospital, did you know that you was going where the ambulance is supposed to go?
I went there first.
Or you just went?
I went there first because normally that door always open.
Okay. Now,
You know what,
you went to
Peachy?
that door.
Peachy, I actually told him to stop there because I was familiar with the hospital. I was a director across the street at Crestwood Behavioral Health, and I had ran an eyeball from one of my clients, ripping an eyeball out of another man's head. And I ran through there with that eyeball. And I knew that the response was very quick. So that's why I asked him to stop at the door. I didn't, he was already there, that client at that time. I didn't think that he was going to come back and tell me that they said that Dada couldn't come through that door because he wasn't in the ambulance, but that's what they told Lee.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
crazy. That's crazy because they said that because when I got shot, I went through that same door without an ambulance. I walked into that. So
Mm.
yeah, it's
Now,
crazy.
is this the only hospital in y'all area that's close to
No,
y'all or something?
no,
No,
Kaiser is down the street, but Sutter was closer.
Sutter was closer. Okay. Now, when you went to that door and you knocked on the door, it was how many people was there?
So it was security guard outside, and then you see people in the front inside the hospital, and they looking at me crazy. And I'm like, we got somebody shot in the car, and they just looking at us crazy. Then that's when Sonya started going crazy on the door, beating the door down, trying to break the door. Then they
No, I'm
finally
talking
came
about the other
outside.
door. No, let's go
Oh,
back to the other door. Yeah,
so
when
the
you just
ambulance,
went
it
by
was two
yourself to the
people.
door.
It was two people. It was two people right there. They told me to go. The dude told me to go to the front.
Okay.
And it's a
And you but
public
you did
hospital.
definitely told them that you had
Yeah,
a person with a gunshot wound.
yeah. I said I had
Can I
somebody
just say
shot.
one thing, you guys? No, this is important.
Yes.
You know
Yes,
how
go
when I
ahead. Go
first called
ahead.
the police, they didn't answer. So by the time my mom and Lee had drove off, the police started calling my phone back, and that's when they was asking me several questions about the incident. And they asked, like, who had been shot, who was bringing them, what kind of car. I let them know what car they was in, the description, who was coming. My neighbor and my mom, my brother has been shot. They're headed towards Sutter. I
Mm.
repeated this 2 times to them to let them know. So
ahead of
dispatcher,
time.
somebody should have had already knew that they was on the way, because they didn't answer for
Exactly.
me at first, but they answered by the time I ran back in the house to make sure my kids wasn't hit.
And
They answered.
that's what I
I
had.
mean, they called my phone back.
That's why I had a problem is because I didn't understand, even though me and Lee had left, and he was still there, Dada. What happened to the call to the ambulance? What happened to the call? But Sharon told me, she said, no, when you and Lee left, I called the hospital and told them you guys were en route. What
No,
kind
they
of car
called
you
me
were
back
in?
about
Or
5
if they
minutes
called.
later.
They knew we were en route there. They knew we were. And another thing that happened, Peachy, I was surprised that when Lee had went to the door and they said that we couldn't bring Dada in, they didn't even have a crash cart available when we went around the bend to the second door to put him, to open up the door. It was just locked.
And again, there was no ambulances out there when y'all went to that
No,
side. It was
And I
just
was
y'all.
very
no.
detailed with
That,
letting
no,
them know.
they never called. When we left there, when they said, we're not letting you guys in here because he's not in the ambulance, protocol and procedure in emergency placement and in a hospital, that person should have called over to the front and said, we need a crash cart available. We had a gunshot victim coming in and we just sent them your way. No one even knew. When they came out, finally, the security, they came out for the disturbance of me banging the door. They came out like they were going to start fighting me when they came. They had no idea that my son was on the ground bleeding. They had no idea that there was a gunshot victim. They were just running because I got a call that I was banging on the doors like I was just banging crazy.
Didn't somebody from real far away hear you, like a
Yeah.
lady in the area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't understand. They never had anybody. And when they did finally come out, they brought my son and put him in a wheelchair.
And the crazy part
Wow.
about it was they said that he was already dead when he was in the wheelchair. He was scrunching his eyes and his face, and he was still alive. He was like slouching over, and they had the nerve to tell my mom that he was already dead. How is a person that's slouching and scrunching their eyes like that, how are they already dead?
Well, me personally, it's hard to say that he's already dead when nobody opened the door for him to get out and fall out of the car.
Right.
Well,
You
I
see what
think
I'm
that
saying?
everybody,
Right.
with them saying that he was dead, they're telling me going to court that it's a different terminology than the way we look and perceive things. They're saying
Okay.
to us in a group and in a community and throughout the states that him even moving around in front of us on the ground, we see that on the video. They're saying he was
Mm-hmm.
dead because at that time everything was shutting down. But we know he was alive. He was not dead.
He opened up the car door and was just too weak to walk, so he fell on his face.
Mm.
And then after that, that's when he was in the
The
wheelchair.
bottom line is, Peachy, he was never going to live, and that's what we have the argument in court for. is because they wanted to keep bringing up a gunshot wound. He was never going to make it. This is how much blood he had in his body when he died. And the reason why I know is because I wanted a coroner's report to be sent to me, which I had to fight for a long time to be sent for me. And what I did was I went into the body cavities of his body so that I can find out. And that's what's hard for a lot of mothers. They can't open up that coroner's report and read what happened to their child. But I did. I knew something was wrong from the gate. So when I opened it up and I went to the body cavities of my young son, I looked and it said 1,100 milliliters, and I wanted to find out what that meant. So when I look on here on this bottle of water, you'll say that this one bottle of water is 500. So if this is 500, this is just how many bottles of water he had. He had bled to death. He was never going to make it. He had bled out already. My son was never going to make it. We lost. I know just how much time they're trying to use a footage from a camera that they edited a lot from the security cameras and say this was a 2-minute ordeal when it was 13 minutes. We lost 13 minutes in the hospital, me and Lee.
Outside. Let in. And he was dying. Tell them what the security lady said to you.
What?
The security lady who they took her little job.
Oh, they seen it. They showed it on the nose.
Don't worry. We got the raw footage of that. We just ain't got to it yet. We got the raw footage of that. We're gonna play that. Charlotte looked like she wanted to say something.
It's just still a level of care that, that they're supposed to give regardless of the circumstances. Like they're mandated. That's not anything that, and I'm sure even the security guards, but there should have been even someone in triage or somewhere that they should have been able to notify and have some kind of support or something there. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's just hurtful because we'll never know. Like no matter what they say, we'll never know what the outcome could.
Well, I want to share something with you that happened in my last court hearing, and I knew it was over. It was over. The security firm, they actually said that they didn't have a sense of duty to help my son at all, and a judge accepted that.
Yeah.
Wow.
She said that in court. She said that they did not have a sense of duty. They owed nothing to him to help him while he was dying. That they did not have to help him.
And we're going to get more into the security too, because I don't think everybody caught on to the whole security thing and how that played a part.
Not.
Exactly. So, but I want to ask this question, okay? Sonya, I'm behind you 100%. Man, you have talked about this and everything. I am behind you 100%. But, and I told you on PG time, we dig down deep. So I must ask this question, and this is to everybody. This is not just to Sonya and her family. This is to everybody that's out there watching. It's COVID. The doors is locked, which none of us agree that the doors should have been locked from the beginning, but the doors was locked. So my question is, when a person, let me bring myself up. When a person gets shot, there's all different ways that they can get shot. And one of the ways when a person gets shot that I think anybody in this world that gets shot, they hope and pray and wish that they just get grazed by a bullet. If they get shot, they would prefer to be grazed by a bullet versus them actually getting shot. So Jason has saw the clip. I sent you the clip. Jason, you did see it, didn't you? Okay. So Jason, my question, I'm gonna pull you up, Jason. My question to you is, could these people, the workers inside, could they have been thinking, well, maybe this is a person that got grazed by the bullet, or this is a person that actually got shot and they finna die right now? Like, because if the doors was locked, it was locked for whatever reason. It was locked. They didn't just get locked because they knew Dada was coming.
No.
So the doors was
I
locked.
never said that.
And on that
No, I'm not saying that you said that. I'm not saying that at all.
So they should have.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that at all. Sonya, me and you talk. Me and you on the same page. But I want to make clarification for everybody that's out there watching. So if they feel any type of way, you see what I'm saying? Because this, at the end of the day, this was during COVID.
It was.
Who gives a damn about COVID? But it was during COVID, you know. So, Jason, what you think about that?
Well, my thing is, in those type of situations, especially in hospitals, the policies and procedures, you treat all situations as if there are life and death situations. So the
Exactly.
fact that they didn't choose that they chose not to pay attention to the
Render aid.
situation and
Yep.
actually put in that work is a loss on their end. That is a terrible negligence to their due diligence of work. You know what I mean? So that's something that
Definitely.
in a hospital, everything is critical into improving different. You know what I mean? So you
Yep.
handle the situation. So the fact that they didn't handle that situation with that kind of care means to me that they're choosing and picking to say who deserves the quality of care at that moment in time. Doesn't matter if it was COVID or not.
Exactly. I
Thank
agree
you.
with you 100%.
Even as an
I agree with you
educator,
100%.
you hear, regardless of where they are, they're still, regardless of whether they're at work or not, they have a due diligence to render aid to a person. And and I know they're security guards, so I'm not taking that away from them, but they're still in a facility. Even as an educator, custodians, everybody are mandated reporters. Like, we all play a part. You can't be a part of a system
Mhm.
and not take part in the system.
Exactly. And
Well,
like I told Sonya, even if a doctor was just going to the store, he ain't at work no more. He just going to the store to CVS to get some medicine for his baby at home. If somebody fall out right in front of him, he shouldn't say, "Oh, I'm not at the hospital right now, so I can't fuck with him at all." No, it's like you sworn to this shit. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to help people when they are in need. That's what you're supposed to do.
well,
That's part
Peachy,
of their oath.
I don't know what kind of games these doctors over there was playing, because I'm glad that you brought that up, because I agree with you 100%. That is how it should be done. But even when they came and told me that Dada passed, the doctor finally came out. It was not that long we waited, but he came and he said, "Who's his mother?" And then I said, "I am." And hear me now, Peachy. I never told anybody what me
Mhm.
and Lee went through at the hospital. Is it was already 100, maybe 50 people up there, about 150 people at the hospital. So I was sitting there praying. Nobody knew what was going on. Maybe I was in shock, but I was praying that Dada would make it through this. And so the doctor came out and I said, "I'm his mom." And then he says, "Well, I'd like to tell you what happened." And I said, "Okay, I'm listening." He says, "Well, when we took him back, we da. And I said, okay. So what's going on with him?" I was anxious. And he said, "Ma'am, you need to calm down and let me talk. Please let me tell you what happened with your son." So I was quiet, Miss Peachy. I said, "Okay." So he said, "And then again, ma'am, when we took him to the back, we set up and I said, 'Look, this is not working for me. This is not working for me right now. Please tell me what's going on with my son." So he said, "If you would let me talk and tell you, I can explain the things to you." I got quiet the third time. And he went on again with the garbage again. And then I said, "You know what? If you don't tell me right now what happened to my son, this is going to be an issue with me. Just tell me now. Is my son alive or is he dead? I need to know. Let's stop all this." And he said, "Ma'am, your son's dead."
Mm.
I was like, people were screaming at that time so loud. I said, "He is, did you say my son was dead? Like, dead? Like, did you just say my son died? Like, is my son dead? Like, he's not coming back?" And he was just standing there, and it was an African American nurse there, and she had her eyes were in tears. And I said, "You mean like just dead? Like, he's never coming back?"
You fainted.
And I was just like,
She fainted.
like, who does that?
No, it was a wheelchair. You was in a wheelchair. No, she
It
hit the
was,
floor. It was.
I don't even know what
In
happened,
a wheelchair.
but I passed out for sure. And I hit the back of my head.
and they were really concerned about that. But it was like, it wasn't even no empathy at all. Not, I didn't need the sympathy, but it was no empathy even at that point.
No, it wasn't.
Like,
He literally
none.
said he's dead, just like that.
And then tell him how the police treated Papa.
Well,
Yeah,
we're not even
that's-
on that part yet.
Oh. It was just like, I just thought that I should have had a little bit more respect about, you know, my son's exiting after everything that I had went through. And I don't know if I was actually treated, you guys, to be honest, because I was 1,000 out there. And I don't know if they was feeling like, you know, excuse my language, fuck that bitch. You know, the way I was acting, but I was trying to save my son's life. And that was it. Like,
You know, like I told you before, Sonya, I feel, and this is my personal opinion, I feel like if that first door where the ambulance is supposed to go to, and ain't no other car supposed to go there, if they would have let you in, none of this would have even occurred like this.
No.
This was like a build up on top of a build up on top of a build up. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, if you're dying, you should be able to go in any hospital door and get
Any
care.
door.
If you're dying.
But Peachy, my son doesn't know he's dead. I'm his mother. My son has no idea he died. He really believes that his mom, he couldn't talk anymore. And I was trying to tell him, me and Lee, save his breath. Don't talk. But he felt like we finally got him in that hospital. He looked dead at me. And I know he was like, my mom handled her business. You know, and he has no idea that he died. I just feel like that when he left, that and got in that wheelchair, he put himself in a safe zone and he felt like he was going to sleep. Because I know my son and I know his spirit. He would have woke up out of that and he would have said 3 things to me because I know my son. And I'm just keeping it real. He would have been like, damn, Mom, you was going crazy. You didn't want your son to die. We got that kind of relationship. I'd have been like, I sure didn't. Your mom act a damn fool. And we would have kind of chuckled. Then the second thing he would have said is, where's Sharonda at? And, you know, his sisters and them. And then the third thing he was going to say is, Mom, you know you got to give me some weed. You know, I'm just keeping real. I need some weed, Mom. Go give me some weed. So I know he doesn't think he died, you know, at all. He hasn't, he felt the security that once he got there. And I felt a little bit too. I didn't think that was the end. I just didn't think, because we went through so much. So,
and I was gonna ask you that too. Being that, you know, you and Lee was telling him, you know, save your breaths.
We was.
You know,
We was.
like
Because he
you
kept
had
talking,
no
trying to talk.
idea that this doctor was gonna come out and say that he was gone, even though you kept asking him, is he
No.
dead or is he alive? You didn't
No,
think he
like,
was gonna literally come out and say he was dead.
No, like if I would have knew that was gonna happen, Peachy, I'm not trying to say I'm gangster with stuff, but you know, I had a hard life growing up, you know. I don't know, you know, I try to love my children. See, the thing about it is when you don't have love from a mother, you put in that extra work. So I don't know what it feels to be loved by a mom. You know, I don't know that feeling. I don't know how that feels. So I love my kids. I love my kids. I've been over backwards for my kids. Everybody know how I am when it comes to them, my kids and their kids. I don't play when it comes to kids.
Exactly.
You know,
So the blessing out of
this
this is that he went knowing that his mom had his back. That's the
You better
biggest
say
blessing.
it.
She did, and she did.
You better
And I
say
didn't
it.
get to tell
He
him. I
went
would
knowing
have
that his mom, he heard you fighting for him, and with all the other negativity and all the other stuff that was going on, he was safe. He knew that he was safe because you had him. And so that's, you know, out of all of it, you can have
I
peace
like
with
that.
that part.
I respect that. But for me not to tell him I loved him, even when he got pushed in the back, as you see, I stopped because they were saying that, I didn't want to waste no time. Some people said I should have beat up the lady when she said you should have called 911. I couldn't fight nobody. I couldn't be doing any of that at that time, And I just felt bad because if I would have sat out there, he died 6 minutes after he was pushed out. I looked at the report. They tried to say Dada lived longer. He died. He didn't even have 10 minutes left. When they took him out, he died. As soon as they pushed him out in that wheelchair, he was dead. He was gone. He didn't have that much time at all. And I just, at that time, I just wish I could have just told him, like, Dada, I love you, son. And, we gonna miss you, son. And, I tried to get you in there, but, don't worry about it. We gonna see you again. I just wish
But
they would, like I never told my child I loved him. I never
but you
said
showed
that
him. You
because he
showed him.
hurt me cussing. I was calling all these people all kind of names. Even Lee ain't telling the truth. When Lee got back in that car after they told him that they wasn't letting my son in that hospital, I didn't even know Lee. I beat that man up in the car with my mouth. I cussed him out so bad. And he was just driving me from that ambulance to that front door. I told him, you better make sure I get out this car. I was just on him. I was talking bad. He didn't deserve that, but I was desperate. I was
Exactly.
desperate. I was trying to save this boy that I loved. It was a wrap. I seen him, I didn't want to lose him,
I understand.
I didn't
Lee,
get to tell him I loved him.
Yes.
hearing Sonya say that she knows she was talking to you bad.
I was wrong, Lee. I'm
Sonya just
sorry,
said
Lee.
this on the show, but Sonya also told this to me when it was just me and her on the phone. So I know that's something that sticks with her. Is there anything that you want to say to Sonya? As far as how she feel about that night.
I just felt like I tried my best to get him to that hospital. I felt like we got him there, and she was talking crazy to me, but I didn't take it no kind of way because we was in a high situation where her son, her youngest son at that, the baby of the clique, is shot. So she just doing what a mother's supposed to do and fight for her son. So I didn't take it no type of way at all.
Okay. Angela, we gonna bring you up for a second. Angela, we ain't get a chance to really talk to you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's a lot tonight. It's a lot tonight. Um, Angela, let us know. When you found out about everything that was going on, what was going through your head?
I was in disbelief. I got a call at 3 a.m. in the morning to come now to Vallejo from Antioch, California, which is about 45 minutes away. Dada is gone. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. And when I got there, everybody was there because the type of kid he was, I wouldn't have never thought that, never in a million years. And then to see the family and see Sonya just out of her mind. And then once I found out what actually went on, how they didn't help her and things like that, I was appalled. I was devastated. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that they think that it was okay for them to do that.
They do.
They thought that was okay. And we got to figure out a way how to get this back in court because it's not about the money. It's about the justice. It was never about the
Policies.
money.
About how they got all the people and let them back out.
Oh, we
That's
gonna
what it
talk
was
about
about.
that.
It's about the justice and how many other people are they going to do this to? This is
Policies and
they
procedures
yes.
need to
And you
change.
don't treat anybody that way. You don't treat
Absolutely.
anybody. I don't care if it was COVID or I don't care what it was. That's what the hospital is for. And for them people to speak to her that way and for them to tell her she should have called 911
Right.
and for the doctor not to just be sympathetic and tell her I'm sorry your son passed and then talk about what happened later. She don't want to hear what happened. She wants to know is her baby okay?
Hmm. Then walk through that process. Exactly.
But what not to cut her off, it's crazy that after that situation happened, then they changed the policy about locking the door. Now the door was open 24 hours.
Unlock your phone.
Of course they would, right?
1997,
Yeah.
23.
Of
So
course they would. So Miss Angela, tell us when you got there, what was your mindset? What was your thought processes once you reached Sonya and you got the news? What did you have any plans in action of action? I mean,
Send that to her.
Well, the first thing was to figure out why the ambulance never showed up and things like that. Those were the things was in my mind. But I was first worried about her and the family. That was the first thought. I wasn't really in that mode yet. I didn't get into that mode till a few days later.
I'm sure.
That night, we were all worried about her because we knew how devastated her and her children were. So that's what we were mainly concerned about because it was a disbelief, not him. Anybody, they could have called about anybody else, not him.
Mm.
He was just a good person. Like she said, always dancing, making you laugh, jokes, stuff like that. Just fun all the time.
Understood. Wow.
Yeah, it was just too much.
Mm.
And
I
I'm
know
still
that
in
you are.
disbelief.
I know that you've said that policies have changed at the hospital. Have they hired more people for the ambulance service
is
and
that Pearl?
911 calls?
You're not
Is
gonna
that
believe this. They have robots for security now. They don't even have people there.
here?
There's
Is that
robots.
Carolyn? Can we
Oh
share this?
wow.
Miss Peachy, this is what they did after Dada's death. So you tell me they weren't wrong? That's the door that we were at, I want everybody to see that. They sealed that door.
They sealed the
That
door.
door that was locked. When you went up to the hospital after Dada died, this is how it was.
Wow.
So, I mean, what was that about? So you guys know something was wrong.
Exactly.
You guys did that?
Exactly.
This door has never been closed at Sutter Hospital ever until after Dada's death.
You have to position that better.
We can see it. Well,
You see it
Sonya,
says emergency, right? Up there.
yeah,
Can you
we
see
see
where it
it.
says emergency?
Yep.
This is a year later. We went there after we went and did an entourage there. So we were real upset when we got to the hospital and seen that a year later.
Wow.
So much
Well, Sonya, we are about to go ahead and get into this raw footage. Okay. Before we get into the raw footage, y'all, we have to go into a commercial break. We have to. So we're gonna go into this quick little commercial break, and then we're going to go straight into the raw footage. So don't leave because as soon as this goes off, it's going straight into the raw footage. Here we go. Hey y'all, it's your girl, the missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Thank y'all so much for joining me and Jason tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if we got a special guest, thank you, special guest. I thank you for coming, sharing your story. But y'all make sure y'all watch us each and every Wednesday, okay? Each and every Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Where you said? You said where? Roku TV, Facebook, YouTube, and also Twitch, baby. Twitch. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Peachy Tea Time spelled with a Y. And make sure you also follow me on all the other platforms just as well. Thank you so much for joining us each and every Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Back to the show we go, baby. We going back. Bye.
See, they made it seem like they were speeding it. Like that's not.
Okay, y'all. So what y'all just saw, and we're gonna start it back over. That is Lee running to the very first door. Okay, these clips are in order, so we're gonna run straight through. Here we go.
they made it seem like they was speeding it. Like that's not what was happening.
I'm at Sutter. The ambulance never came. I've been here trying to get somebody to get my son out the car. All of these guys is right here. Ain't nobody came and got my child right now. Ain't nobody came and got my child right now. My son is a gunshot victim. I'm still waiting for my son to get out the car. I'm waiting for my son. They ain't going to get my son at all. My son is right here. He may be losing his life. I want you to see this. I want you, no, I want to have some help. Ain't nobody helping.
Highland never been.
We called 911, bitch. They didn't come. The fuck you talking about? The fuck you talking about? This how they fucking treat my son.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire. Sonya, how did you feel as a mother? And I want you to be very, very specific. Please, when I say this. How did you feel as a mother? And if I'm getting too loud, y'all, I'm sorry. I get loud when I get crunk. How did you feel as a mother to hear that doggone EMT or whatever she was tell you, well, you should have called 911. You should have called an ambulance. How did you feel at that moment? I mean, we heard you call her a bitch, but tell us how you feel.
I was aggressive, and I know I was, but I had to check my place, because I knew I wanted to hurt anybody. It didn't even matter who it was, and I knew that wasn't a time for me to become physically with anybody at that time. So I just tried to just keep pushing towards Dada, making sure that I didn't start anything other than to try to keep everything together, because I felt like if I started fighting her, that's what everybody wanted to know. They felt like I let this woman really disrespect me. A lot of people said that they wouldn't have handled it like that. They would have had fought her, and you got to put yourself in different situations. Yes. At that time, I didn't think it was necessary for me to physically strike out and hit her or have a fight with her. I didn't want to do that. I just didn't. I just wanted my son to be okay.
Exactly.
And so
it was just too much valuable time that was wasted here.
Yeah.
With them not helping my brother, and we never know if he could have lived or not. That's how I feel about it. I'll never know. If my
and other people, people always like to tell you what they woulda, coulda, shoulda done. And not being in that situation, you did the best thing that you knew to do, and that was to keep the focus on your child at that very moment. So you did what was right.
And I want to make sure I make this clear just as well. Y'all have to understand. That's why I put all those clips together. they went to the other door. Cause I know a lot of people be like, well, if you don't be mean, if you be nice, you get some stuff
Right,
done and all that stuff.
right.
But y'all have to understand, she went to another door and they
First,
didn't let her in.
that is in the second door.
And the
They
Exactly.
were pushing
security.
me. They
So
were
my
pushing me to the third door. You have another clip, and you see me running up to people with my cell phone in their faces because they weren't helping me at time. And so that was the third door. I went to three doors.
And you wasn't even recording that first. You started to do that after.
Yes.
They were at the hospital, I would say, from the time they pulled up on Sutter's property to the time he got in the back, about 13 to 14 minutes.
We were there. I counted 13 minutes.
And how I
That's
know
too
this for a
long.
fact is because where I lived at in Vallejo would have took me about 15 minutes to get there. And when I finally got to the hospital, I wasn't even aware that any of this had took place. My mom, because my mom is a naturally fired up person, especially with a situation like this. When I got there, she was sitting there calm. I thought Dada was cool. She didn't tell me
Mm.
she had just cussed the EMT out. She didn't tell me how they disrespected her. She didn't tell me how they was locked out. She was sitting there and she was like, Dada gonna be good. Like she had the faith that he was gonna be good. She didn't let me nor my sister, we didn't even know about any of this happening at the hospital until the next day when we finally seen the video. And we was just all in shock because we couldn't believe it just by how calm she was. She thought she did everything she did and she thought that Dada was going to be alive. She did. She was sitting there calm, calm like she is right now.
And from what we saw, to her, from you saying that she was calm when
She
you
was
got there,
calm.
that mean, and I'm just being honest, that mean a lot of time had passed.
A
You
lot
see
of
what I'm
time had
saying?
passed. Exactly. That was my
Exactly.
point of saying that.
Exactly. A lot of time had
I
passed.
want you to read
Jason, it
it.
looked like you want to say
What are you
something.
talking about?
honestly, the thing for me is security, right? As a person that has done security for a long time, know that you treat that situation just as if you're a part of the process, right? For me to see the video and notice that these guys didn't do much, like they were just standing around as if this is an a-okay thing to do, instead of cause or have to be expeditious about it. You know what I'm saying? Like to really get on their shit is baffling to me. I still want to know like the aspects of that. Like what is it that this security company, why is it that they're so disassociated with it and not a part of the process and like trying to get things expedited? That's the part that's wondering me. Because if they were a part of it and would have ran and got someone or got nurses or someone to help, it would have been a completely different story, and we'll have that out here today.
Yeah,
Now,
Dada wasn't
Sonya,
right.
Sonya, now I want you, because Jason used to be security for
Mm-hmm.
many years.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bouncer at a club just as well. So
Mm-hmm.
he done seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sonya, please let Jason know, because I want Jason to elaborate on this. Let Jason know what the security did when they was coming to the door after you was hitting the door on your, hitting your purse on the door. When the young lady, the black, I want to make sure that's clear, the black young lady that was sitting
Yeah.
at the desk,
Yeah.
when she called security to come out, you said they looked like they was coming to get you.
They were
What
definitely
happened
not
at that
coming.
point?
They definitely weren't coming for Dada. They were definitely coming to hands on, kind of like towards me. They were definitely and this they don't know me. This same security firm. I've actually had a lawsuit with them
Mm.
previously, and it was for one of them putting his hands on me while I was asking for an escort to pick me up from across the street, because I did mention that I was a director across the street at Crestwood Behavioral Health, and I took a client out and I had to call and had be picked up, and he pushed me out the door roughly.
Mm.
So they have some issues over there, and when they came running, whoever called on me for the disturbance, which I believe was her, they looked like they were coming to get busy with me.
Don't forget about
So
the lady Keisha who made that.
so they were really surprised, and like I said, I don't know what was wrong with the woman's problem with me because the next day she just went on and got real live with me on the internet and said, you know what? Hey, you guys, I'm gonna just tell you the truth about this mother. She want to tell you guys, I should tell you this, Peachy, that she wants to get on here like we weren't really helping her at the hospital, but she didn't want to put her son in her brand new Mercedes because she didn't want to put blood on the seats.
Oh yeah, that was something that was going around.
She later got in trouble for it and apologized to me. But it's the fact of it is, what's wrong with you?
She was an employee for Sutter. Make that clear.
Now, when the security guards came and the doors finally opened, tell us what happened from that point.
No, the doors never opened. That door never opened. The one that I went to, it was closed down. It was shut. That door never opened. This is the third door. Dada went through a third door.
Okay, so when the security, because I remember you mentioned to me that the security guards came out, walked with you to your car, and
Right, they
told you
walked
that
in.
they're not allowed to take him in because they
Yeah,
may
when they
get
when they
sniped.
when they came running out towards me real aggressive,
Yeah.
and I seen them coming, I was like, right here. And that's when I said, my son is dying. And that's when they was like, whoa. They stepped back like, whoa. We're like, what's she talking about? And that's when we start all walking together. And I started showing them. I said, there we go, get him up. I was aggressive though. I was. I said, get him up right now and get him. And they was looking like, wait a minute, what? I said, get my son up. What y'all standing around for? Because they was just standing there looking at him. I'm like, what is they doing? Like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, if y'all don't grab him and throw it, get him up in the hospital, do something. And that's when he turned around and he said, man, we can't touch him. I said, you can't.
So where
touch
were
him.
the nurses? There weren't any nurses. I mean, because
never
they're
seen no
usually
nurses,
even
no.
in the ER. They're nurses just waiting
No
at
nurses.
least around the.
I was dealing with the security. They told me, they said, look, we can't help you. We can't take you in the hospital. We're not about to lose our jobs. And that's what it is. And they left. They walked
And
right.
they
You can
walked
see it.
away
You see
from
him
her.
walk back in the door.
The EMTs is the people who took him into Sutter. The EMTs. No nurses or doctors ever came out.
They never came out.
Until he was already in the back. Once he was already in the back, a nurse did come out once I was there and was asking his name and his age and his birthday.
They never.
But that was after the fact.
Those were those people that had on all those heavy clothes. Those were some ambulance people that came and escorted him in. That was the woman that said the procedure was 911. Like, shut up. You should have called 911.
Which we did.
We did call 911. They never came. They didn't come.
5 minutes later.
So y'all waited outside basically until the EMTs came to walk y'all in.
Exactly.
That's
Oh
what
my
happened.
gosh.
That's what happened.
That's who got Dada.
They never came out with no oxygen, no gurney,
And I'm
no
pretty
nothing.
sure that I wasn't the only person that called that night because it was like 70
No.
to 80.
A
A lot of the neighbors and
Peachy, I want my daughter to read this real quick little paragraph that was sent to me through Facebook. Can you read it, please?
Read it.
Yeah.
It says, first, I want to let you know how incredibly sorry I am for your tragic loss. You have my deepest condolences. I am not sure how to bring this up with you about the events around this loss. I live about 1/4 mile from Sutter. As the crows flies, I heard your screams of grief. They woke me up to the point of getting me up and attempting to investigate and calling 911 with a 2-minute in duration to report the disturbance. I do not know if there are any legal matters in regard to those events. I am an auditory witness and have an electronic record about my 911 call, time, duration, and my memory of what I heard. If anything of this can be an assistance, please let me know. And they left their name and their phone number, and I won't.
Say her name.
Well, it's Lisa Maylene, and I won't share her phone number.
You don't have to share her number.
Now, Sonya, I know a lot of people. I'm sorry, before
And
I ask
that was
the
somebody
question.
who lived close to the hospital.
She said she could hear me screaming
Not
1/3 of a
not
mile.
on the hospital ground. She lived near the hospital.
She
Could
said
hear
she
her
heard me
scream that far away.
She said she heard me before she called. She said she heard me. How many minutes? How far? She said she lived 1/4 of a mile from Sutter as the crows fly. and I heard your screams of grief that they woke me up to the point of getting.
We can't hear. Okay, now we can hear you.
Somebody
Wow.
was calling her. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's we're gonna get into a comment right quick. A couple comments, and then there's a question that I want to ask. Loria. Hey Loria. I love you, boo. She said, Miss Sonia, I
Yes,
speak and
ma'am.
pray the serenity prayer over you. We as mothers will always feel we could have done more. That's just that undivine love we nature. The devil will play with our minds. Hugs. Miss Loria, she's been on the show a couple times. She lost 2 sons to gun violence. So we love Loria over here. Tribe. Hey, Tribe. She said them same people never know what will happen to their loved ones one day, and not wishing nothing on nobody either. And she talking about the EMTs and stuff. And the one that say, "Oh, you could call 911." That one. That's what she's talking about. Who this is heavy. Sonya, this is so heavy. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there right now. Just like when I told my husband this story, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, "Oh, she can sue. She can sue them."
It's a waste of time.
Was that an option? Did that happen with you?
There was a lawsuit that was open in Solano County, and I could tell you I went through it. It just kind of ended before the year ended, and we fought that case for almost 4 years. They never once even called one of my witnesses. I was just going to court for just being stressed out, and I would go up there, and they would send me court dates far apart, and they would say a motion is going in, this is going in, this is going in, and I'm thinking like, when are we gonna get to calling a witness? When are we gonna start calling people from the hospital? I had an attorney, a $1 billion verdict attorney, that he said that he was going to have my back on. Started off with him. He said there was going to be a press conference. Then a press conference never happened. Then I started asking about certain things, and then things started changing over.
He wanted to drop the 911 call thing, and I didn't understand why.
It was just, it was
Why did he want to drop the 911? Because the 911 call was made. He didn't want to go forward with that.
it just ended up being a whole lot. Like, I don't know what they were going on, but it wasn't no justice for Dada in their plans at all. It wasn't. Never.
Well, he was
Never.
higher.
Never.
What he was.
Never.
What was his name, Bill?
Wow.
His name was Robert Arns.
Robert. Yeah, I don't know. I remember one time, because I didn't really talk to him, but I remember one time he had got me on the phone, and I had talked to him briefly, and he was like, yeah, we asked me about the night. He was like, yeah, we're going to go over the story about 20 times. I'm just thinking, why would we need to go over something 20 times? I can tell you from start to finish 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, the same story. I don't need to rehearse. I know what happened that night.
And
Yeah.
they also had played with a lot of the footage, because this lawyer that they're talking about, me and my mother had numerous conversations with him about the time that she was at the hospital. And he was always giving us time limits of their camera footage, when the original video that you have, Peachy, that my mom started to record, was always longer than the duration of the time that they said that she was actually there. And we're like, we have an actual video with a time stamp that she recorded after the fact. And the time that you're giving us is less than a video that she recorded.
Miss Peachy.
That man was like,
You know what?
Years.
You know, like I said, his intentions to me at the end of the day, being invited out to his mansion, this man definitely had other things in plan, and it wasn't justice with my son. This is his mansion.
You can't see that one.
You know, so
Oh no, we can see it, girl. We can see it.
he had different
Were you
ideas.
trying to go after him criminally or civil? Was it a civil lawsuit that you?
It was civil.
Civil. Okay.
Wow.
And then even the other, I have a question because I'm just so baffled about the receptionist or whoever she was that she commented on your post the next day. Like that took me out. Now
Oh,
she
she didn't comment. She made her own post. It was never. She made a post. She said, "Let me tell you exactly what she said." She said, "While you guys are giving this family sympathy, let me tell y'all the real. I work at Sutter. This mother had just bought a brand new Mercedes the day before her son was murdered, and she did not want to put her son, her bleeding son, to bleed her brand new white seats." And she actually spent time looking for somebody with an alternative car to drive her son to the hospital.
And my mom was
which
actually
was
at work.
not
She got
true.
caught in her
Tia,
second
don't
car.
make us mad even
No,
more,
that's
Tia.
what she said.
She was in her work
Oh,
car.
that's
That's
what that was.
crazy.
You called
She
her,
worked
was at work that night. She was at work getting off.
And mind you, when
And
my
she was
brother
in
got
her
shot,
Solara. She was in a Solar, a two-door
right?
Solar.
Well,
I was
even
the
at
person
that,
who
it
told
was
my mother what had
explained.
happened.
Even the gentleman who he said when she came around the corner, he was already headed to his car to put your son in his car. So it made
Exactly.
sense.
It made sense. She didn't know what she was talking about. And I was a person who originally called my mother and told her what had happened to Dada. I didn't know that he was shot. She was getting off work. My sister had called me. It was almost midnight. It wasn't yet midnight. And I knew that she got off work at midnight. And I said, "Hey, Mom, I don't know what's going on up there at Sharonda's house." She said she heard a whole bunch of bullets. She don't know where Dada is. So, Mom, maybe you should just go up there before you head home and just see what's going on. She said, "Oh, okay, Tia, I'm gonna head up there."
I was panicking.
No, this is what I told Mom. She said, "Okay, I'm gonna head over there. I'm getting off of work now." So my mother wasn't in her Mercedes. She was in her work car, which was a Solara, which was the gray car in the video that Dada opened the door and fell out of. It was just so happened she brought her Mercedes the day before. She drove
But
that
it
gray
doesn't
car
matter
to
because
It
work.
I'm
didn't
sure,
matter. It wouldn't
yeah,
matter if
she would have put her
that's not
in
her
her brand
business.
new car. She got
If
it the
she
same
had a
damn day.
Bentley, she would have put him in it.
That's
Exactly.
not.
Oh, wait.
So,
Is this?
what your
Oh, this is
sister that's
actually the
sitting
comment.
behind you?
We
What's
have it. We have it. This is a Facebook comment. This
okay?
is
She
a
got
Facebook
it. She
comment,
got
and
it.
I could read it. It says,
Go
"Keisha
read it to
Crockett.
us.
This is sad, and my condolences go out to the family. The mom bought a brand new Mercedes the day before and did not want to put her own son in the car to transport him to the hospital. Has anyone wondered why they were waiting for 35 minutes? She was looking for a neighbor to take him so he would not stay in her car. Why wait for an ambulance that was not called? The workers could have moved faster, but mom wasted time when she could have just put her in the car." They fired her. That was her
Good.
exact words. And this
Good.
was
And
from
they
her
should
Facebook.
have.
They did.
And
They
they should
fired her.
have.
That's sad.
They fired her.
They should have.
And this was the employee that admitted that it was 35 minutes too.
And this was the same employee that was looking at Sonya while she was hitting
Yeah.
on the door.
Mm-hmm. That same girl.
The sister that's behind you,
Right. Mm-hmm.
the one. What's your name, sweetheart? I'm sorry.
Sharonda.
Say it again.
Sharonda.
Sharonda. Okay. Um. So when the gunshots went off,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know for sure if Dada got hit or not.
No.
I wasn't for sure because he had stepped outside for a moment with like two friends. And I heard all them gunshots going off, and I didn't know what to think. So, I had to I had to hide in the corner of my house. I had to. It felt like forever. It probably happened quickly, but it felt like forever. So I had to wait for the gunfire to go off. And the first thing I did was call my brother's phone. I called him about 2 to 3 times. When he didn't get no answer, I started to panic inside. And that's when I called my sister, a little hysterical, but I wasn't for sure. And
But you
and
never
I
went outside.
no, I didn't, because it had
Okay.
just happened like 5, 10 seconds ago. I had called
Mhm.
upstairs to my son to make sure he had my youngest daughter at the time, because
Mhm.
I had just seen her running around the house shortly before that. So I was just trying to make sure my kids was good. And then, from there, the 911 calls was placed. Tia
Mhm.
had my
You looked out the windows.
what when?
You said you looked out the window.
Oh, after everything had first stopped, it was really quiet. So I had looked out my front window and I saw my old car in the middle of the street with both the doors open, and I yelled up to my son upstairs. I said, "Oh my God, Papa!" I said, "I think they are in the car dead." But I was too scared to go outside because I was in the house by myself, and that's when one of the neighbors came up, and I just yelled out, "Are they in the car? Are they in the car?" And he was like, "No." So I knew they weren't in there, and I was like, "Well, where are they?" And I had ran upstairs to an upstairs room, looked out the window, saw my god brother who was with my brother when it happened, and I was like, "Where's Dada? Where's Dada at?" And that's when I said that out the back window, because I lived in the upstairs. That's when I heard my brother in distress call my name 3 times, and I knew for sure he had been hit at that time. Because before that, I didn't know what was going on, but when I had called his name out, yeah, he called out to me, and I could tell he was on the side of the house, like towards the backyard. So that's when I ran straight down the stairs to, call out for help, So.
And Lee, that's when you heard her, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's when y'all went on the side of the
Because I
house.
didn't know he was
Yeah, me
shot
and
at
Rick.
first. I just thought that it was a bunch of gunfire. I didn't know.
So in actuality, he was running away. So he more than likely was running away from what was going
Yeah, I
on.
think that he probably was trying to
Yeah.
hide on the side of
He
the
was
house.
trying to get to some type of safety because I went there
Safety.
next day to the next day I went to Sharonda's house to try to find out what happened there. You know, I wanted people to stand on my son's blood and tell me actually what happened.
And so what did the God
And
brother
they
say
couldn't do that.
happened? Since the God brother was there, what did he
I
say?
couldn't get any information from anybody what happened that night. I never heard what really happened. I never got to the bottom of it.
Did y'all hear
Well,
anything,
That whole night
sisters?
puzzled me.
mhm.
I'm still puzzled.
They was just, outside probably listening to music. Like I said, they had came and gone a couple of times. But one thing that my god brother did tell me from the situation, that car had 4 individuals in there, and they had came around the block one time. They had came around the block one time.
And it was two
And
females that
it
was
was
driving.
2 females driving. So for 3 young men sitting in front of my house parked and talking, maybe smoking, they see 2 females in a little ML 320 Mercedes truck. They not thinking of it. It's 2 black females. They come around the block, but when it comes around that second time, that's when the gunfire starts. So they were kind of caught off guard. I don't know. And then it was dudes in the back. So,
Has anybody been caught?
Oh yeah.
Caught in the
They had the U.S. Marshals go get these people from Texas. They put a big old article out about how they captured them, and then a few weeks later called my mom to tell her, "Oh, unfortunately, we don't have enough evidence, and we have to release them."
Well, they were all young people, very young. And the 3 they said they released is because they blamed it on one person that was in the car. So that's what the police had said. That's all I know. Is that
So
they
no
said
one has been charged.
no.
Nobody has been
Girl,
charged.
They didn't
mm,
charge anybody.
Have no justice, zero justice.
girl, we got the
Zero
wrong
justice.
sign. We got the wrong banner up. If you know something, say something. Help this family. It's
Zero
gonna be up for the
justice.
rest of the night. Now, when we play the tribute, we're gonna take everything down. But this gonna be up for the rest of the night.
And Peachy, I have a lot of pictures and stuff I'd like to share with you as well.
Please do. Please do.
And videos
Send them
of
to
who
me.
Dada was. He was very loved. Everybody loved Dada. He was so well loved.
And you can definitely tell that
Oh my
your
God, he was
mama.
just like the life of the party. Like really, he brought everybody together. He really honestly
And the
did.
thing that's different from Dada's drive-by than a lot of other drive-bys that happen in the community is that they crashed the whole vehicle that they
And that's the
left.
video you
So it was something in that car. Like it was something in that car. I watch a lot of First 48 and a lot. They left the whole vehicle was crashed. We sent you the video. Like the whole
I
vehicle
didn't
was.
get it. Did you?
Oh, it's
What
on
did you
your
send me?
Facebook on
on
Messenger.
Facebook.
The video was the car was left on the scene.
It didn't come through.
Oh, let me try
Shoot.
to resend it.
Yeah, try to resend it because we definitely want to see that. Try to resend it. And you put it on the Tanil Latrice Davis page, right?
It say it sent 1 hour ago. I resent it just now.
Mm-mm.
I probably gotta add you.
Yeah, add me.
Look, that night, this, you see the stop sign? This
Okay,
stop
we
sign
can
was
see
in
that.
front of my house. It got a bullet hole right in it
We can
from
see the
that
bullet
night.
holes. Sure can.
And the stop sign that was right in front of my
Can
house.
you send the video to that phone?
That was maybe they can see it better. See, it's too blurry.
Yeah, send it to that other phone, the phone that she got.
What phone was you on? There's the video of when this first happened. This is before Dada was even took to the hospital. This is when y'all was carrying his body. This is from the ring.
That's me screaming.
Send that
That's you
video to her
screaming.
phone.
Oh God, I sound like a
No, that was me throwing up.
no. That's somebody screaming.
That was you screaming. That's the real footage. That's when it first happened.
Yeah, send that video to her phone and have
Okay,
her
I
put it
just
on the
followed
screen.
Miss Peachy, and then it's saying it's sent. See, don't listen and say it's sent to her messenger. Yeah.
Okay, so my husband watching, y'all. My husband is
Hi.
watching. Hey, Poolie. He said, what happened with the shooter?
With the shooter?
The shooter is still on the run, right?
They still
They
run.
on the run. They are free.
They're free.
They set free.
They free. They free. They're free. They're free. They around. They're in hiding, but they around.
Jason. In case because Jason having some problems right now, y'all, with his system. Jason, tonight is the night when it's time for this tribute. I need your system to act right. This is your time to doggone shine. Okay.
Yeah.
The shooter is still out there on the run.
Well, no, the thing is though, and they said it is like they've already taken him in. They've already went through
They
the
didn't find
process. They found not enough evidence. So from here on out, they're good. There's double jeopardy.
Well, what I heard is that Vallejo police basically said in the event that they didn't have enough evidence to take it to trial, and if they went to trial and won, they couldn't. If more evidence ever came back, they could never recharge them. But as long as it's open, if they ever get more evidence, they can pick them up and open a new trial.
So can I ask a question, especially going back to the hospital too? Have there been any other families in the community that had this, not even the same issue, but just issues with the hospital as well? That have reached out
They
to
had
you
a
all?
lot. Well, not shooting, but they've had a lot of numerous accounts of how they've treated people. Because once my door opened up, it just opened up another platform that a lot of people had said a lot of things were going on that wasn't right there.
That's the same video. Is that in my picture?
Okay, but was it heard that the doors was locked?
Yeah. No.
When they
no.
tried to get to the hospital.
We showed you after Dada. Show her this. Show her this after this.
Yeah,
After
they unlocked
I know, but after Dada's thing, this is what happened. It was never going to happen. They sealed those doors off.
They not sealing for whatever reason.
They sealed it off.
You first, put my phone full.
Wow. This
So
is
nobody
sad,
had that
y'all.
problem.
Now, before we get into the tribute, because the tribute is finna come up next. SONYA, let everybody know why you did not win as far as your lawsuit. Can you tell us that?
Well, what happened was at the end of the conclusion, we had 3 different doctors that came in, and actually they all said the same thing, that Dada would not have survived the bullet wound where he was shot at. So these doctors had no connection with each other. So at that point, the lawsuit was dropped from Sutter. That's how they won. They had maybe about 6 attorneys. I had one off and on. And then so they went on with the security would also at that time, we would have a settlement conference that was granted. So with that being said, once Sutter was out, it dropped their lawsuit was done and it was over with. They won on that part. Then
The security said, well, if Sutter got out and we didn't shoot him, we didn't put a gun in him, he was gonna die anyway. Let's do the same thing that Sutter did. So they picked up the same thing, took all of their records, everything that they used at Sutter. So there was a problem because the judge did have to make them go back in and refile something over again because I'm like, they're using the same stuff. So they came
Exactly.
back and she granted their motion. They did the same thing, the exact thing that Sutter did. We didn't kill him. And we didn't have they told her we didn't have a sense of right. We didn't have to help him. We didn't have to help do anything with him. And that was
Wow.
it. That was
Mm-mm-mm.
it. And we had got down. What made it so bad is that we were in court for about 3 or 4 years. So let's say money was off the table at that time. It was just like we're just trying to get a compensation of the money that I missed while I was going to work. So basically, after my attorney would have got paid, we're talking about I had been in court for 4 years. We're not even talking about $50,000. That was my money that I missed from work. So there was never any money to even be discussed.
Now you did receive something.
No, I didn't receive anything.
Oh, you didn't receive nothing at all.
I didn't receive anything.
Even for your son getting murdered, you didn't receive nothing.
We received is
Hey,
something the victims of crime. They call it
victims.
victims of crime, and you get
Mm-hmm.
it from the county. But when I went to the office that's here in Vallejo, where it was at, I just walked out of there. I didn't want anything from them. The way they treated you when you went over there just to fill out the paper, it was horrible. I couldn't believe it. So I discussed it with one of my girlfriends, and she was like, "No, you need to go over there and talk to somebody higher than that. You know what? Your son died out there. They killed your good son. You need to go back over there." And so I actually met a man that was higher up in there, and he kind of helped me. And then, the process happened. They
Mm-hmm.
mailed me a check for, I think, I can't quote it, but I think $7,500
Mm.
for the victims of crime for the death of my son.
Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I got something.
I
Oh,
texted to you. That
yep,
was
I
the
got it.
video is actually on scene in the moments that they were leaving to go to the hospital. No police was there, no ambulance was there.
Okay, I'm finna show this.
But Peachy,
And
when we talk about the money thing, I just want to say that, a shout out to the community. And I can't even believe the love that I received it.
girl,
My god
you
sister,
got some love, love, love,
yeah, my
extra
god
love.
sister was handling everything for me. And when we got time for me to pay for everything, she had actually told me, I just need to let you know that I've paid for everything in cash. It's already been done, and you received it over $35,000 in cash from people. So yes,
That's what you
So
call the
there,
community coming together.
there's
right,
some
they did.
humanity in Valero after all. There is some
Right.
humanity.
I mean, like, and a lot of people from where I grew up to San Francisco. So I just, I couldn't even believe I was just stunned that they did that. I mean, even the people in Vallejo, they brought food out. I loved it living in Vallejo. We had been there since I was in the kindergarten. So it made it really risky, especially with him being an older brother that was so upset about it, and he's not from Vallejo.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we can't start just going on craziness, because it's happened to your little brother. We got to calm this down, because we got family out here in Vallejo, you know? And so that's what the problem was. We had been there so long.
Wow.
That's what
Okay.
got really tricky. It got really tricky.
So this is. Let me see. Hold on. I think. Yeah, right here. This is the accident, right?
Hmm. That was the shooter's car. They crashed into a neighbor's house.
So y'all see that. Y'all see that. Okay, and then the video.
The video, I think, is the neighbor coming out of his house. That's the guy who actually carried Dada like a baby. And he told Dada, well, he told me the guy's name was Richard. He was named after my son. He said Dada grabbed his shirt and said, "I don't want to die." When he picked him up out the bushes and was carrying him over to the car, Dada told him, "I don't want to die."
I don't believe that.
That's what Richard said.
He couldn't even talk.
No, he called Sharonda's name. You got to think when y'all got to the hospital.
Nah, he
Thomas had
said
already
that.
had-
He said that. He said it. I heard him. He said that.
No,
You heard him, Lee?
I
Yeah, he
never heard.
said that.
Lee,
When
I
he went over
never.
there,
I heard that.
he picked him up in the bushes. He told him, he's like, "Hey, look, I'm coming to help you. I don't want to get shot. I'm coming to pick you up." And he said, "I don't want to die." Exactly what he said.
Yeah.
So I'm finna play this video.
I never heard him talk.
I want to say this before I play this video because I keep forgetting to tell her. Where'd she go? I think she's one of y'all peoples. Tyra Lynn.
Yeah,
Tyra
she
Lynn
lost a
Spear.
child too.
Yes, Tyra Lynn. I usually don't do this because the
It's
family on
okay.
Wednesdays, everything is dedicated to them. Like
No, it's
I usually
okay.
don't do this. So thank you, Sonya, for
No, I
allowing me to
love her.
do
She
this.
lost her baby too.
Tyra Lynn, I do have it on the bottom of my screen, the email address. Email me your information, and we would definitely try to get you on the show. If you're willing to come on the show, we would definitely have you on the show, and you could tell your baby story just as well. So I'm gonna leave that up for a couple more seconds. But thank you, Sonya. Thank you
Okay.
so much, because I do not do this on Wednesdays. We
Yeah, and I
dedicate
have another
Wednesdays
friend
to
too.
the family.
I'm a call her too. Her name is Cheryl Milton.
Okay. Okay. Give her my information, give her
I
my phone
will.
number,
I
and we'll
will.
bring her on the show.
I
All
will.
right, but let's go ahead and get into this video, y'all. I wasn't able to make it look cute because she just sent it to me. So we'll be able to all see it together at the same time.
What
So
is it?
This is actually
this is the
the
video that
murder
she sent
scene.
us. So I'm finna, if everybody can mute themselves except for Sonya, except for you, Sonya, because I want y'all to tell us what we looking at.
What is
But
this?
everybody else,
Jonathan,
please
explain it
mute
to us.
themselves. Because it's only 19 seconds.
And there's
It's
one
only
that's
19 seconds.
longer.
Yeah, that's another. This is.
Yeah, because this is disturbing.
Okay, here we go.
This is right before my mom arrived on the scene.
Okay. That was 19 seconds. And like Sonya said, that's disturbing. That's disturbing. So I wasn't gonna replay it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I can
that was
play
them
this
scary.
too.
Was
Tell
that
her what's
Lee?
going on, Sharonda.
This is a different
Sharonda, no,
video.
tell her what was going
Here,
on
no.
in that video.
Well, that was when my mom was just arriving, and the guy Richard, who was my neighbor, he had just got him from the side of the house. Right in that moment, he had just got him, and he was running them towards the car. My mom pulled up. At the moment that the guy grabbed him, she just happened to pull up in that moment, and they were already had another car ready to put him in, Lee car. They was gonna put him in Lee car. He had a sheet, and they was getting ready to put him in there. And when she came, they ended up putting him in the Solar.
Okay.
So this is another video Tia gonna share with you. That's
Hopefully this is clear. I don't know if this is going to show clear. I'm not going to be able to send this one.
Shooting at this car.
Hold on. Start
Oh,
it
man,
over.
look
Hold
at
on. Let me change
look at my truck.
the settings. Can you start it over?
Mm-hmm.
Man, crazy in the middle of the night. Hey, shooting at this car. Oh man, look at my truck.
Mm.
Man, hey, gunshots all in the back of this car. They ran off. Everybody's gone. Missing the Mercedes. Gunshots. Oh, smacked my truck.
so that was just the aftermath there.
I'm so tired of seeing this.
I don't know. This is hard. We're gonna go ahead and get into the tribute video. And like I told you, Sonya, Sonya, this was gonna be the hardest part of the show for the tribute videos. So, but we're gonna go ahead and play it. When I tell I'm gonna pull everybody down, and I'm just gonna leave me and Jason up. Jason, can you bring yourself up, please? When I tell y'all, Sonya sent me a lot of pictures. I said, Sonya, girl, send me as many pictures as you want to send me, girl. Just send them to me. I said, and I'm pick out which ones I'm put on there because you know the way we do these videos. I ain't gonna tell y'all how I go. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all gonna try to make videos. I ain't gonna tell you how I go. But I told her, I said, send me as many as you want to. Baby, Sonya sent a lot of pictures. But I'm glad that she did because it let me know what type of dude Dada was. And he was a good dude. Like a good dude. And everybody loved him. Sonya, I gotta say it. Even the white folks loved him. Sonya said, I'm just gonna go ahead and send you this picture too. The white folks loved him, so I'm just gonna send it to you. I said, girl, send it to me, send it to me. But everybody loved him. He was a really, really good dude. So when I make these tribute videos, because the tribute video is coming up right now. Right now. When I make these videos, I do make them for the family, but I also make them for the killers. And then also for the people that the killers pillow talk with. Because you know they can't keep it no secret. They're gonna tell somebody. They're gonna tell somebody. So when they decide to tell somebody, I'm hoping that they watch this video. Because if Jason was on here, because he having some issues with his internet. But I'm telling you now, Jason will tell you, oh, they watching. The killer watching. The pillow talkers, they watching. The people that they pillow talk to, they all watching right now. And if they ain't watching right now, they're gonna watch it tomorrow. Or the day after that. But they gonna see this video. So I make it for them. Cause they gonna see it. And they gonna just feel so sad and so bad to where they gonna call Uber. Yeah, they gonna call Uber. Or they gonna get in their own car. But if they ain't got their own car, they gonna call Uber. They gonna call their friend. They gonna call somebody. They gonna get on the bus. But they gonna call somebody and they gonna say, I can't take it no more. I gotta tell somebody. I gotta let it out to the detectives, to the police, FBI, whoever's involved in this. Now is your time to say something. This family needs closure. This family needs to know that their community is 100% behind them. So we are about to go ahead because Jason, I'm not seeing Jason's picture yet. So we are about to go ahead. Let me take everything off. Taking everything off. Okay? And then we're going to play this tribute video again at the end of the show. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull myself down. And baby, we are about to head into this tribute. California. I know y'all watching. Baby, this is a tribute. Because I always tell everybody it's explicit language. This is a tribute for your ears. Do you hear me? Hey, PG. Yes, show our family some love, girl. Show them some love. Okay? But this is a tribute for your ears. But I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Rest in peace to Dada. My heart goes out to the family. And after this tribute, we would definitely be back. Okay? So here we go. Dada! Dada! I know you hear me, Dada. Rest in peace, Dada. We love you. We love you over here at Peach Tea Time. We love you. All right. Here we go, Dada. This for you. And Sonya, this for you too, girl.
You cool as fuck. I slap you upside your head. You cool as fuck. I love you, nigga. I love you, mama.
Pictures of smiling faces that used to have a home. Now they sit in the vacant. What tomorrow never comes. I lost my peace when you crossed my mind. Never realizing how close it was to the time. Haven't gained an angel, haven't gained another angel. And all I have are these memories. All I have are these memories. If I know you're in a better place, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven gave an angel, and all I have are these memories. If I had one wish, I'd use it just to see you again, just to spend one more day with you. I'd give you every second, sitting on the porch just to hear your voice, watching the sunset, hoping when I get to heaven you'd remember just like it was yesterday. But the truth is right now we parted with Heaven gained another angel. Heaven gained an angel. All I have are these memories. If I could get just one more chance, all I have are these one more chance to hear you laugh. If I know you're better, why does it still feel this way? Heaven gained an angel. I know. And all I have are these memories. Heaven gained an angel. Heaven gained another angel. I know it have to be. And all I have are these memories. All I have are these memories. If I know you're in a better place, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven gained an angel, and all I have are these memories.
Charlotte. Charlotte. Oh, my computer was acting crazy. Charlotte, can you hear me? Go on ahead and say something.
Yes, I hear you. You just stuck. You frozen, but yeah, I hear you.
Girl, this is all I got to say. I'm going to come back in a second, but y'all can hear me. This is what I got to say. If y'all ain't doing this at my gravesite, don't even come to my funeral.
They had a party, wasn't
Baby,
it? They threw it up. They were throwing it
baby,
up.
they threw it
Okay.
up. Do you
That's
hear
how
me?
you supposed to go out. That's how you do.
Yes. If y'all ain't doing that for me, don't even show up. Don't show up. Charlotte, how do you feel about that video?
I love all the family. You could just tell that she has a really close knit family and just a beautiful family too. Really, really beautiful family. Um, I as a mom and as a mom of a 25-year-old, I know that feeling. Just you just you sit on bated breath when they're not with you, just hoping and praying that that they make it home safely. So I don't know how how to go on after that point, and she's doing a wonderful job. She's doing a great job, and I know it's a hard job, just to keep pushing on. But she's a soldier. She's a soldier. She surely is a soldier. Those videos showed just how much of a soldier she really is. I lost you. You there? Hello?
Exactly.
You are.
I'm sorry. Yeah, here I am, girl. I had to come out and come back in because it was tripping. So I'm finna bring the family back up. Let's start with Angela. Angela,
Hi, Miss
how you feel
Peachy.
about that tribute, girl?
It was very, very beautiful, emotional, but beautiful. You did an amazing job. I
Thank
mean,
you.
this is so heartfelt that you put Sonya on this platform so people could really see, how devastated the family is and was, and how justice was not served. And we
It was
really
not
appreciate
served.
it all the way from the ATL. You came to the Bay.
It's
You brought it
all
to
the
the
way
Bay.
from the ATL,
That's
baby. We in
right,
Cali.
baby. That's
Baby,
right.
we
My
buckled
mama
up
was
our
born in
seatbelt.
Georgia. My mama was born in Georgia.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you call what they call that full circle. Where
Full
it just come
circle.
all the way back around, Angela.
That's
All the way
right.
back around.
But we
So let's
really
bring up Lee.
appreciate this.
Let's bring up Lee. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lee. Lee. How you
Yes,
feel about that tribute?
She made it home safely.
that's dope.
Exactly.
It for surely was a party at the it was for surely a party out there.
mm,
And I
I'm
don't
telling
think,
you, Lee. Go ahead.
but your kudos to you too, just for being a neighbor. That's, true essence of what a
Yes.
neighbor is. Because I even heard the part where you took somebody else home, like that was out there. I heard you say that part, like true essence of a neighbor. You left your family in the home once you found out that they were good and went to go help other people. So shout out to you.
Exactly.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Shout out to you, Lee. We need more people like you in our communities.
For
You know,
sure.
you gave a damn about your car. You know what I'm saying? You like, it's somebody that need to be saved. That's all you worried about, and you did your job.
I
You
had to
know,
do it because when I got shot, the people I was with left me, so
Mm.
I had to drive myself
mm.
to the hospital.
You had to drive yourself.
Yeah, the people I was with left me. I had to drive myself to the hospital when I got shot.
Lee, we gonna have to bring you on the show to tell us that story.
It's all good.
You know, you made it. You made it.
Yeah.
So we could bring you on the show to tell everybody you made it. You know what I'm saying? So please reach out to me so that we can get you on the show and you could tell your story too.
I
You know what
got
I'm saying? So we are about to bring Sonya and her family up, and she is going to Angela. We know you family too, but we had to bring you up separately.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
you are so welcome. So let's bring up Sonya, and we are going to ask them, how they feeling right now about this tribute video. Hey, Sonya.
Hey.
Hey, boo. So let us know. Let's start with Tia. Tia, how you feeling about this tribute video?
I thought it was beautiful. I thought it really showed like who Dada was, how we are as a family, how we turn up,
Yes.
how we not, I don't want to say celebrated his death, but if you knew Dada, that's would have been how he would have wanted his funeral. He wouldn't have wanted us sad and weeping. He was gonna be like, y'all party for me. And that's
Exactly.
exactly what we did. And he got buried with what he loved the most. A couple thousand went in his casket with him. That's what he would have wanted.
7,000-8,000. I've never seen that like that in my life.
Okay, so I gotta ask this question for for the ones all the way back in the back, all the people back in the back. You know, no, I ain't talking about y'all. I ain't talking about y'all. Not y'all in the back, but the people back in the back that we ain't got, the ones that ain't got that much bread. We ain't got that much money. Yeah, no, the ones in the back that really ain't got that much money. That money actually is down there with him, correct?
Oh, we hope so. If they didn't dig him back up and take it.
People been known now. Yeah.
It's like we hope so. Now your sister's in the back. Before we get to Sonya, your sister's in the back. That's actually your sister and your niece in the back to you.
These are Dada's nieces.
Come here.
And Dada's nieces. So sister, and I'm sorry, say your name one more time.
Sharonda.
Sharonda. Oh, Sharonda. Okay. How did you feel about the tribute video?
I liked it a lot. I just wish that you guys could have seen a lot more. My phone was super full, so I wasn't able to provide, much. But people tell me all the time, your brother, he's been gone almost 5 years, and I rarely see a family like this that celebrates somebody's memory, whenever we can, his death day, his birthday, he's always celebrated, and it's just always a lot of love around that time for him. So I wish that we could have had shared some of those moments, but overall I really did like the video. But we just want to keep his memory alive,
keep his spirit
for the most part, and
that's what it's
just keep
about.
our his nieces who loved him. He loved his nieces so much, and just keep the memory, with them, sharing videos, pictures, whatever we can to
Exactly.
keep them
No, I
reminded.
completely understand. Now, your daughter that's sitting next to you,
Yeah, Aaliyah.
we didn't hear much from her, so I want to ask you.
And she was actually there when it happened that night.
She was there when it happened. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, sweetheart, I want to ask you, what is? I don't want to say one thing. What is a couple? I'm gonna say a couple of things that you miss so much about your uncle.
I miss when he used to make us laugh. I miss when he used to tickle us until we peed on ourselves. I miss getting on the game with him, making random food combinations. That's the last thing we did before.
Yeah, we did what?
They made a food combination.
Yeah, that's what we did before. Like last time I seen him. Last time I seen him, we made food combinations, and we went outside to go fix his car. And I didn't see him no more. But yeah, how many did I say so far?
You said 30.
I liked making videos and memories with him.
She just misses him a lot.
And let's remind y'all, we don't have a lot of boys in our family. So
yeah,
he was.
We can't see you, Tia.
Oh, I said we don't have a lot of boys. As y'all can see, we a family of females. So he was a big part of all of us.
Yeah, I can tell.
It shows. Yeah. It shows.
It
and you know
definitely
what?
shows.
The loss of him too, also, Miss Peachy, it affected Nene a whole lot. She, had to struggle a lot, and also my grandson that witnessed it. They had a hard time.
So, and Mom, I heard you mention this as well, that you worked at the community health center. So have you all sought as a family just counseling and just Have you been in counseling? Because I know this is a hard thing as a parent, as a mama of a boy that I don't like him, but I love him to death, you know. So I can only imagine. But have you sought some solace for yourself, some help? Just because grief is grief and it doesn't go away, but it does help to talk to other people, and you know, so it eases the pain.
Yeah, I did. I had to go into emergency counseling. I'm actually just now relieving myself from it because I became very violent and I was very upset,
Mm.
and it was getting real scary for me. You know, I was the devil was really busy. I was thinking, triggers was coming, like, go up to that hospital and dust some of them off, just go back into your orange jumpsuits and just lay down. You're not happy, no way. It was just, I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot. I was very mad. I was very mad. And then I went up to the hospital. I was going back and forth doing my time stamps, and I ran into a African American girl. She was there in a security code. And they would call in and say, she's here. And she walked up to me and she was like, she threw her coat on the ground and she was like, I don't care if I get fired today, I'm giving you a hug. She said, because I want you to know that if I was here, that would have never went down. And I was just thinking like, dang, that's crazy
Wow.
how I felt like coming up here and just splattering a half of y'all and just laying down on y'all. And that would have killed you or hurt you just because of what happened to my son. And you was one of them ones that would have had my back because I was really thinking bad. They moved me from being under a psychologist care into a psychiatric care because it was just getting real bad with me. It was getting bad. I was isolating myself from everybody and shutting down real bad. Yeah, it was bad. It was
So
bad.
I just take some time for, and I know it's been, you know, again, I say grief doesn't have a time stamp. There, it doesn't
Nope.
go away. It just
No.
eases up, and we learn a new normal without the person that we love. But you know, I suggest even if it's once a month, just checking in, you know, and just
Yeah.
finding some kind of peace within yourself. And I'm gonna say this again because I said it earlier, and I heard you, and I know how you feel because I too probably would have wanted to have my last words with mine, but you
Yeah.
showed him love doesn't always have to be said. You showed him.
You
He
sure
saw
did.
it. He saw you love him. He saw how you were fighting for him. And that's
Yeah.
the ultimate sacrifice of love right there. So,
Right.
mom, you have nothing to say that your child knew that you loved him. He left here
Mhm.
knowing that.
Yeah. It was just
And that is true.
it was just so
That
awful. That night was just like it just replays in my head so much, like a recorder. You just hit it and they just keep playing. I just sometimes I'm just quiet and I just can't get it out of. It's just like it's buried in me. It was really awful. It was
And
awful.
I don't know, you know, your faith, anything, but you know, it's that person. You just go and you get mad with him, talk to him, tell him how you feel about what it is that you're going through and what you feel. And I'm telling you, he'll ease your pain.
Right. And the worst
exactly.
thing about it is, even going through the court system with the civil lawsuit, I was just thinking, you know, it never was about getting rich behind what happened to my son, but just taking
Justice.
care of everybody and making sure everybody
Mhm.
was happy. I was just like, I want to treat people nice. And that's why I always do a lot of stuff for the kids, big old celebrations and everything. Cause I was just thinking, I just want to give these people back what they gave me. So I could just be like, I just love y'all.
And
So
she ain't lying, y'all. Look, let me bring myself up. Y'all, she ain't lying.
they
Because when I
know,
tell y'all
they know.
the time that I have talked to Sonya, Sonya have told me, everything that's happened, what was going on, things that we can't even discuss on here. But at the end of the day, Sonya has each time, Miss Peachy, I got somebody that I know you need to talk to. I'm telling you. Yeah, she will love what you doing. I mean, she's thinking of other people. Even in her own grief that she's grieving. She's still thinking about Peachy Tea Time. And this is her first time even knowing about Peachy Tea Time. And she's still looking out for Peachy Tea Time. I'm going to hook you up with these people. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know, it's like when people is hurting and grieving, don't think that they're just being selfish and they're only thinking about themselves. That's not it. SONYA made it very clear on that first video that I showed y'all when we started the show. I didn't even play the whole video. But when I saw that whole video, SONYA made it very clear. I ain't hungry. She said, do it look like I'm hungry?
Oh no, I'm not hungry. I'm all
Baby,
right.
she showed her backyard, Charlotte, and a whole big swim pool. Then I saw, I'm going to say it, SONYA, I'm going to say it. I saw the Don Julio. It was a whole bunch of bottles. And y'all
And
saw
she
in the
ain't took
video.
a sip of liquor in her life.
You heard her,
You
she
know,
busted me out. She said,
and
I
that's
ain't
what
never
she
had
told me.
a sip of liquor.
That's what she told me. She said, I ain't never drunk nothing
That's
in
what
my
it
life.
gets.
She said, I ain't
I have
never done anything. She
I
said, no
have
drugs, no nothing.
never.
No nothing.
Never.
So it's not about her in this situation. When y'all saw her giving to the community, that wasn't from nonprofit and the Toys for Tots
No.
giving her
No.
these toys. No, she put
No.
up her own money and then other people donated.
Right. Exactly.
So please know that she ain't even about that type of life like that. She
Right.
is about her son. Her son, just like she was at that doggone hospital, ready to beat the doggone doors down.
Right.
She is about her son. And
You
SONYA, I want to tell you thank you. Thank you
welcome.
for what you are doing for the community. Because you could have sat back and been like, you know what? Y'all niggas ain't did shit for my
Right.
son.
Right.
I ain't doing shit for y'all. Even though I
Right.
got the funds to do,
Right.
I'm not finna do nothing for y'all.
Right.
But you're not like that.
No. No.
Girl.
Excuse me.
Well, y'all, I love SONYA. I love SONYA so much.
Thank you. I love you too, Miss Peachy.
SONYA, even at the beginning of the show, SONYA said, could y'all please stop whispering?
Yeah.
She is on point, baby. SONYA. We are now at the end of the show. I do
Thank
play the
you.
tribute video again at the end of
Uh-huh.
the show. But we also do at the end of the show. And SONYA, I didn't tell you this. I didn't tell
Mm-hmm.
you this. And I don't tell none of my guests this because I don't want them to plan what they gonna say. But I always let my guests end the show. But don't worry. I'm gonna tell you the question and you're gonna give us the answer. So don't even worry about it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we are going to go
Can
to
you guys stop being rude right now, please? You're
No,
really being
SONYA, they are
rude.
not being rude. They are not being rude. They are
We
not.
have a
They're not
third
being rude.
conversation going on in here, and you can take that outside. I can.
No,
Please go outside.
SONYA don't play no games. I'm telling you, she don't play no games. She don't play no game. SONYA ain't nothing.
This baby
Look,
says she don't.
no, she don't. You right, baby.
Little
You right,
baby
baby.
said she
Your
don't.
grandmama don't play no game.
But come here, tell her what she said. Did you say I don't? She said she don't.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all. When I saw SONYA on TikTok and I saw that video, I knew then she don't play no
Give it
game.
to Leah. She's the one that put it on there.
Hold
We on
on.
TikTok.
Who put it on there?
Nene.
The grandbaby. The grandbaby
Yes.
that put it on TikTok.
I want to met you, Nene. Thank you, Nene.
Look, let me give Nene a round of applause. Because if it wasn't for her putting it on TikTok, to this day, I would not have known Sonya. And that's the honest to God truth. So, Nene, thank you for putting it on TikTok. Because I wouldn't have known nothing about this story if you wouldn't have put it on there. You know, God made things happen for a reason. No matter what your age, no matter your race or anything, when God wants something to happen, baby, he gonna make it happen. So I thank you for doing this for your grandmother. Because if you would not have done that, I would not have known nothing about Dada at all whatsoever. And that's the honest to God truth. I wouldn't have known. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Damn it, let me give you another round of applause. Yes, you deserve it. You deserve it. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring everybody down, and then because we are at the end of the show now, so I'm bring everybody down, and I'm going to leave up Miss Angela. Miss Angela.
Yes, Miss Peachy.
Hey, boo.
Hey, girly.
Angela, we
Yes.
have finished the show. We are at the end. We are going to play that tribute video one more again. One more
You
again.
did that. You did
Thank
that. This was
you.
amazing. I mean, it was sad, but we're happy that you did it. I mean, very emotional, but very touching. And you're an amazing person to let people share their stories with the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angela. Angela, if there's one thing that you want to say to Dada, what would it be?
Dada, man. Dada, I'm about to send you some cash out. That's what I'm gonna tell Dada. I'm about to cash out.
Dada about that
Yeah,
bread. Do you hear me?
yeah, Dada about that bread, and he gonna call Auntie Angie and say, Angela, cash at me. And I'm about to cash at them.
All right. That's what she said she gonna do, baby. All the way from California, baby. She from Texas. She live in Texas, but she in Cali right now. I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay in California. But most importantly, Angela, I really hope and pray that you have a safe trip back home. Okay?
Thank you, but actually I'm from Cali. I moved to Texas, but
Ah,
I'm from Cali.
okay. Well, I still hope you have a safe trip back home.
Thank
And
you, and thank you for having me. I
you-
appreciate it. I love you, Sonya. I love you, Tia. I love you, Sharonda, Nene. Thank you for posting the video. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Dr. Charlotte. Thank you, Miss Peachy.
yes.
Thank you, James. Where James go? I mean, Jason. Where you at?
Jason, he texted me, he said I can't take it no more. Because his
It
system
was
kept going
wonderful.
down and down and down. It wasn't nothing but the devil trying to intervene. But he was able to say what he needed to say.
That's
Because
right.
one thing that I always say is, and this is for every family that comes on PGT time, Angela, I always let them know, if God got something for you to say, you gonna say it and you will be heard. And
Amen.
Jason was definitely heard tonight.
He
So
definitely was heard.
yes. So thank you so much, Angela. Please stay on for a couple minutes after I end the broadcast, because I just want to say one thing to you and your family, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You are so welcome. And then we're going to bring up Lee. Lee. Lee.
Hey,
Lee. 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 You is the superhero. And I know you probably don't even feel like you're a hero, but you are the superhero for tonight, baby. You did your thing. You said, I don't give a damn about my car. It is what it is. I'm trying to say this man. 'Cause that's what he was, a man. I'm trying to say this man. So, Lee, is there anything that you want to say to anybody out there? Now, I told Angela what she want to say to Dada, but what I want to ask you, is there anything that you want to say to anybody out there in this world, being that you are considered PGT time hero of the night?
man, I just want to say to the family, y'all know what it is with me. You know, I did what I was supposed to do,
Hmm.
and just gonna leave it at that.
There you go. Now, Lee, if there was anybody out there, because usually I would have left it like that, Lee. But if there's anybody out there that is put in the position that you was put in going forward in the future, what would you say to them? Because you know how men feel about their cars. I'm just gonna say it like it is. They don't want you can't even spill, especially if you got kids. You can't
Man,
even spill a crumb in your car. So if there's anybody out there that is faced with what you went through, what would you say to them right now?
man, at the end of the day, cars it's just material. Like you can always buy some new seats. You can always get your seats clean. You just do what you're
Yes.
supposed to do. 'Cause, you know what? I feel like you just got to stand on business every day. Like if you
Yeah.
see somebody that's in need and need to get to a hospital, like you should do what any real person would do and help them out, even if you don't know them or not. Cause I wish
Yeah.
somebody would have did that to me when I got shot.
Mm. So you feel like it came in full circle.
Yeah,
Came in full circle. And you did what God wanted you to do, which is go ahead and take him. So Lee, I thank you. I didn't even know Dada. I don't know you. I don't know Angela. I just got to know Sonya. But Lee, I want to tell you thank you. Because not only did you help Sonya Lee, but you helped every black person in the community. You know, white folks too. I'm going ahead and just say it, white folks too. But us, you helped every last one of us in this community to let us know that it's still somebody out there that will help us when we are in need. So,
I
Lee, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Lee,
I,
make sure you get at me, okay?
I got you.
Get at me so we can bring you on, baby, so you can let us know what happened when you got shot and shit. You know, we
It's
need to
all
know all
good.
that.
It's all
So
good.
hit me up, okay? Get my number from Sonya, or I put up my email address. You can email me, but either way, I want you to come back on and share your story, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And please stay on for a couple minutes after I end the broadcast so I can speak to you just as well, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Charlotte, Charlotte, Charlotte. Baby, you did your thing tonight. I appreciate you so much. Jason was having some issues with his internet. He wasn't at his normal place. He was out of town, but you stepped in, you did your thing. I appreciate it. Is there anything that you want to say right now to the family?
No, they're just a beautiful family, just a strong-willed family, and they have a matriarch that someone that they can follow after, and just being there for your child, your children. She's showing them what strength looks like coming from a woman. I know their dad is there. I saw the shirt with mom and dad. I know
Mhm.
he's there with them, but she surely shows strength. She gives them a lot to look forward to as far as being a woman is concerned, and that's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. Charlotte, I'm gonna say this before I pull you down. Loria, we see you, girl. We see you, girl. I love you, Loria. But Charlotte, I want to say this before I pull you down again. Um, in situations like this, as a mom that has a child, you are a mom with a child. I feel like Sonya represented for every mother out there.
Yes, ma'am.
I had maybe a few mothers that came on the show. A lot of mothers, they're not in that situation. We're gonna keep it 100. They're not there when it happened. They just get the phone call
Yes,
and
ma'am.
say, "Hey, your baby at the hospital."
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of that at PGT time, that's how it happens. But for a mother that's there in the situation, she did what she was supposed to do. She has definitely, hands down, stood on business. And she has showed each and every one of us, no matter what, keep fighting for your child. Even though she
Definitely.
thought her child was gonna make it, she still kept fighting. Just in case he didn't, I'ma still keep fighting. Just in case he do make it, I'ma still keep fighting. And that's what she
Definitely.
did. That's what she
Yep.
did.
It's
Yeah.
strength. That's nothing but strength. The strength and the love of a mom. You know, it's just it's amazing where it comes from, because sometimes you think and you like I wouldn't have it in me, but I think all of us is deep down inside, and when it comes to your babies, oh, it comes up and comes out. So I can only imagine. I praise her. I think she did the right thing, and all the naysayers that were in her ear telling her what she could have, should have. People all the time they can tell you from way over somewhere else what they would have, could have, should have done, but it's not
Yep.
until you're in that situation how you react to it that makes all the difference in the world. And so
Exactly.
she did, and she made it about her child. She didn't take the focus off of her child, because getting into it with them would have taken the focus off of her
Yes.
child who needed the help and put it on
Yes.
her. So she did what she needed to do. She stood up in the paint, as kids say.
Exactly. And yes, me and Charlotte is here in Atlanta. Charlotte was born and raised in Georgia. I was not. I was raised in Michigan. But at the end of the day, I don't care where we was raised at. Me and Charlotte agree to disagree. And we agree tonight that Sonya did the exact thing that she was supposed to do. So for all y'all out there saying, "Oh, I would have fought her, I would have beat her ass," all that, that wasn't the time. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you, Charlotte, I'm finna pull you down because I want to make sure they hear me very clear. Sonya was so upset, so angry, so mad that she could have killed that lady. She could have put that lady to sleep. And guess what? She would have been locked up in jail, in prison for the rest of her life. So make sure y'all remember that just as well for the ones out there that's saying, "Oh, I would have beat her ass. I would have did that." She could have beat her ass so bad till she would have killed her. So y'all remember that when y'all sitting up there talking and Callie about what she should have done. She did the right thing. And Lord knows she did the right thing. So I'm finna bring Sonya up. Boom! Hey, girl. Sonya. We have came to the end of the show. You already know, Sonya, this is not gonna be your last time hearing from me.
I know.
We locked in. We locked in. You're gonna hear from me all the time. I'm always gonna call and check on you, make sure you good and everything.
Okay.
But I got to ask, let's start with your children. Is there anything that y'all want to say before we end the show tonight? To anybody that's out there watching.
We just really appreciate you taking the time to do this for us.
You're so
It's
welcome.
a lot of people who didn't see the TikTok or the video. So I'm pretty sure with this being aired, a lot more people will, hear Dada's story. So we just want to say we
Exactly.
appreciate you, but taking the time on Dada's story.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like I told Sonya, my show is not about clicks and views.
Right.
I wish people would click, view, all that stuff because that to me, that means that more people is watching. Not
Right.
for no money or nothing like that. It's just that people are watching, they are hearing these stories, they are helping me and helping the moms and the dads keeping their loved ones alive. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much, Rhonda, for just acknowledging me for that.
Of course.
Sonia,
Mm-hmm.
baby, you
I
is
hear
the
you.
last one to talk. Where Tia at? Did Tia want to say anything? Tia said,
Um,
I done switched to the back, girl.
Tia,
Yeah.
We rotate.
I just want to say thank you. You know, a lot of people are aware, but now I feel like Dada's story is, you know, reaching other places outside of California. You know, and just hopefully one day we do get the justice that, you know, we are praying for, because the ultimate justice for me is that the people that are responsible for my brother's death, you know, are one day incarcerated and are paying for what they did, so they don't have to hurt nobody else's families like they did ours. And just thank you for putting our story out there.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And again, if you guys know anything, if you know something, say something. Help this family. The killer is still out there walking around thinking ain't nothing gonna happen to him. But I'ma tell you one
For
thing,
her.
Mr. Yeah, or her. But I'ma tell y'all one thing,
We two
Mr. Killer
girls.
or Mrs. Killer, whoever which one you are, trust and believe the Lord, our God that we serve, can take care of you more than what the prison system can take care of you. So when you walking around and people start talking and saying, what happened to their arm? What happened to their leg? What happened to their eye? What happened to their finger? What happened to everything? It's because of what you did. You ain't got to go to the prison system, to the jail system, because God gonna make sure he take care of you. No matter what, he gonna take care of you. Trust and believe that. So, Sonya, with that being said, I always let our guests in the show. So I'm gonna let you in the show. Then we're gonna go into the tribute, and then we're gonna go into our outro. And then I want you to stick around just for a couple seconds after I end the broadcast so I can talk to y'all just for a hot second. But you are going to end the show. And the question is, if you could talk to the killer, because I know you don't talk to Dada, you don't talk to him already. So if you can talk to the killer, the one that actually did this, what would you say to him right now, today, the way that you feel right now? So with that being said, y'all, she gonna answer that question. I'm gonna pull myself down. She gonna have the whole screen to herself. So I will see y'all on Friday. 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, when it's me and my husband. We talk about love and relationships. And don't forget, we're going to add some crime in there too, because that's what Peach Tea Time is about, crime. Spreading the awareness, letting y'all know what's going on out here in our communities. Not just in mine, but in y'all communities too, because we all one. We all are one. Just like we all married. You know when they say when you marry, you become one. That's what us as black folks is. We're one. We just don't act like it. That's it. But we finna act like it on PGC time, especially on Friday. So make sure y'all tune in. All right, Sonya, you finna have the whole platform to your damn self. To yourself. And don't forget, please stay on for a couple seconds after I end the broadcast. So I could talk to y'all for a minute. And again, if you could talk to the killer right now, killer or killers, what would you say to them? And
You know,
Sonya, hold on, Sonya. One more thing. I'm gonna need you to put that church finger up when you done. And when
oh,
you do that, that's when we know we're gonna go into the tribute. Here we
okay. Honestly, the question is really, hard for me. And, I'm just like, I've always been a person that's been a real realist. Ain't nothing fuckery or fake about me. And so, because it's extra circumstances behind my son's death, I could tell you this: as we speak about Dada, we talking about a child that and the kid that I raised, a good young guy, holding doors open for you at Safeway and stuff, making everybody laugh, being the life of the party. I can tell you here, and this is on my son and on God and on my own faith, that Dada got hit with a bullet that didn't have his name on him. Nobody came to kill my son.
So what you gonna let the killer know?
Nobody came to kill my son. Can I talk? I got the flow. Nobody killed my son intentionally. period. And I'm going to stick to what I said when I was on that mic outside. It was an accident. So don't let nothing crisscross and start being like you Billy Badass because you shot my daughter's house up randomly. You went out there and bullets hit everywhere. You're not a hitter. You're not a real killer. And at the end of the day, it was an accident. And these young boys, they got to know that. Some of them want to be hard and some of them can't play that role. And in this situation, to me, it was somebody playing a big role and made a big mistake. You couldn't even get out of there from having a drive-by shooting. You ran right into the house across the street and got caught up. They had 2 females in there. I don't think they was thinking clearly. They was with 2 guys. So for me, to be honest, I would pray for them. I would pray for them because they made a big mistake. They made a big mistake. 4 Black young people made a big mistake. And that's what it was. Nobody didn't come to kill my son intentionally. Had they came to kill my son intentionally, I don't want to tell you what would have happened. Because they would have lived the rest of their life with regret had I known somebody killed my son. Because I would have let them feel how I feel. They could have stayed alive, and I don't think I need to talk about what it would have happened. But they would have felt that pain. And they would have lived with it. I would have wanted them to live how I live with it. But because I know in my heart was an accident, nah, I'm going to pray for them, all 4 of them. I don't want nothing to happen to them. And that's on God.
You forgot to put the church finger up. You forgot to put the church
Put it
finger
up.
up. Okay.
I do.
All right, y'all.
They could be in
But
the
we
grave
are
right with Dada. Yeah, I'll keep my comment. They could be in the grave with Dada. That's how I feel.
And it's
Everybody
okay that
is
you
different.
feel that way. It's okay that you feel that way. All right, y'all. We finna go into this tribute one more again. If y'all got something that y'all want to say in the chat, please put it in the chat. This is the time. And we finna go ahead and get into this tribute one more again. And then we are going to the outro. Y'all already know what I say. You already know what I say. If you watch my show, you gotta listen to my babies. So here we go.
I love you, Dada. You cool as fuck. I slap you on side your head. You cool as fuck. I love you, nigga. I love you, Dada.
I know you like
Pictures of smiling faces that used to have a home. Now they sit in the vacant, but tomorrow never comes. I lost my peace when you crossed my mind. Never realizing how close it was to the time. Heaven gained an angel, heaven gained another angel. And all I have are these memories. All I have are these memories. If I know you're in a better place, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven gave an angel, and all I have are these memories. If I had one wish, I'd use it just to see you again, just to spend one more day with you. I'd give you every second, sitting on the porch, just to hear your voice, watching the sunset, hoping when I get to heaven, you'd remember just like it was yesterday. But the truth is right now we parted ways. Heaven gained another angel. Heaven gained an All I have are these memories, just to hear you laugh. If I know you're better, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven came in nature. I know. And all I have are these memories, Heaven came in nature. Heaven came another angel. I know it have to be. And all I have are these memories, All I have are these memories, If I know you're in a better place, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven came an angel, and all I have are these memories.